You unblocked her to hit her up?
And I actually texted her.
What did you say?
I said, you still owe me a ride in your Jeep. It's got this nice Jeep. And I was like, cool. Like, let's do it when I get back.
Trevor. At least be honest. Be like, I wanted to fuck again. I was horny. I was lonely. I wanted to fuck again. I thought this would be easy. You're full of shit.
Ride that
I
Jeep, bitch.
thought we were being honest here, Trevor.
Ride that Jeep, bitch.
Trevor, what the fuck is going on?
Hey, buddy. I'm just enjoying myself a Coca-Cola.
See, you're one of the case studies when people are like, do I go drink on the show? I'm like, no, you don't have to fucking drink.
Not me. What number is this? Are we even counting anymore? I know it's 5 or 6.
Well, that is depending if you want to count the Spearmint Rhino Dames and Games Top of Sports Bar and Grill episodes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was interesting. It was fun, but it was different, you know? I was just like, what's going on here?
Well,
trying to hide my boner the whole time.
Well, I'm on this side of the table now. You can hide it well.
Yeah. Well, it's been, I'll be 6 years sober next month. So I think the first time I did your show was when I had just gotten sober. Like literally like within a month or two. So yeah, I think this is 5 or 6. Yeah.
It's up there.
Yeah.
You're one of the old school guests.
Fucking A. I just want to know who I got to take out to be number one. As far as most consecutive, or not consecutive, but most appearances on this.
Technically, if you want to go by IMDb,
yeah,
you'd have to take out Annie Cruz because she was my co-host for a while.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that doesn't count though.
Yeah, you have 50 odd episodes of her as my co-host.
Yeah, I'm fucked. Yeah, forget it.
Like no one's ever gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe years from now.
Yeah, if we're both still alive,
right? You're like, oh, I have more appearances than Annie Cruz, but Matt's been dead for a couple of years and someone else is hosting the show.
Yeah, just keep trucking.
Someone else has to take this over when I die, right?
Yeah. How about Brandon?
Nah. And you really think Brandon's gonna outlive me?
No way. Surprised he's alive.
He might not be.
Yeah. He's dead inside.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm trying to look at your appearances. I'm going to IMDb to check this.
Oh man, yeah. I haven't done a lot in the past few years. It's been all comedy. Been all stand-up pretty much.
What have you been up to?
I have been on the road. I mean, really since COVID, so almost 4 years, but the past year, 2 years, I've been on the road pretty consistently. I tell people I haven't had a physical address since I left Austin. Actually, no. When I left Austin, I moved back here to run the pub, and I was at a place for actually longer than 6 months, but I was at the club for 6 months. And I had an address there. Then after that, I left Robinson's 2 years ago, April.
How the fuck has that been 2 years already?
2 years April is when I left, and then I went on the road right when I left. It was April 17th. It was a Sunday. I remember very well.
I know. I showed up for it.
Then I went to Vegas the following week and did some shows with Brett Ernst in Vegas. Came back, did some shows here, and then I technically left for the road that following June. So this coming June will be like really 2 years on the road. But when I was in when I was in Texas, I was doing a lot of road shows too. I wasn't just in Austin. I did stuff in Louisiana. I did stuff all around Austin. I did stuff in Houston. I didn't do anything in Dallas. I wish I would have, but
I mean, it's still there. You can still go.
Yeah, actually, the brand is opening up in Dallas, Fort Worth.
Really?
Corrupted Comedy Texas is. I told my guy out there, I call him the chapter head. That's the name I give these guys, not co-producers, chapter heads.
Or would you a fucking motorcycle club?
Exactly. That's kind of what we don't mirror it after that, but I like the name. It sounds sexier than like producer of, you know.
The one percenters of comedy?
Yes. But Austin's great. It's blown the fuck up, but it's just too much going on there. And he's in Dallas a lot, Dallas, Fort Worth, whatever. So our residency starts, I think, this week at a place out in Fort Worth called Bar 2909. So we've got a weekly show in Fort Worth out there. We've got a monthly show at Base Camp in Lyle, which used to be the Lodge, which I used to run. And then I'm working on some stuff out here. And I also have Minnesota and Iowa prospects that are very interested in doing something this spring. So yeah, it's working. It's happening. It's difficult, but that's me. I'm a masochist. I like the pain.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Well aware.
Yeah.
Hence why you've been on the show now 6 times.
Yeah.
According to IMDb, this will be number 6.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Fucking A. Yeah, I was in Phoenix for a few months. I was thinking about doing something there. Didn't work out. The scene was interesting. I was met some cool people, but things didn't work out. So I came back here because this is like my home, second home. Here in Chicago.
This place is better than Austin. You all right there?
Yeah. Dry throat, man. It's gonna be happening.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great podcasting.
It's not COVID. I'm not dying.
No. I'm just worried about great podcasting.
Oh, yeah, it might be AIDS dick. I don't know. That's why I got so thin. People are asking me how I did it, and I was like, AIDS dick, sucking a lot of AIDS dick.
Can't get AIDS through oral, man. Unless you have a bunch of cuts in your mouth.
I did, yeah. I did it on purpose.
Just glass and dick.
Yeah.
Apparently you haven't been on in fucking 2 years, though.
2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that when I came back from Austin?
Oh, yeah.
And people thought I was talking shit?
Yep.
Dude, that was fun, man. There's some people coming at me. I was like, I don't even know who the fuck you are. Like, people are like, oh, yeah, I listened to your podcast. I was like, well, thank you. First of all, thanks for listening to my buddy and my podcast that I was on. I'm like, and they were like, I'm like, shut the fuck up, you fucking babies. You're gonna call me out on something I said on a podcast? Fuck off.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you, Trevor. It's not 2018 anymore. You can't just say things on the show anonymously and expect people not to hear it.
Yeah, that's true. I got that shoot. I think I talked about this on a podcast I did a few years ago. It's like 2019, and I said something on a podcast, and it got back to somebody. And it was, the podcast was almost 2 hours long. And I said something in the podcast for like 15 seconds. And it was like an hour and 45 minutes into the podcast. And I was like, well, at least you listen to the podcast.
Right.
I was like, thank you for listening to me fucking, ramble on. And I got shit for it. And I was just like, I do what the fuck I want. I'm like, I don't think you understand how this shit works. And I was like, and it wasn't defamation. I wasn't like slandering anyone. It was just like an opinion on something.
Well, turns out you actually have to prove damages for defamation or libel to actually matter.
I didn't use anyone's name.
But even if you did, I found out the hard way because I was going to sue someone who was trying to slander me.
Oh.
And the lawyer's like, okay, what's the damages it's caused? I'm like, but he's saying this crazy shit.
Yeah.
What's the damages? Nope.
Fuck.
What he said was, if a tree falls in the woods and no one hears it, did it really defame you?
That's true.
I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, I didn't even use people's names. I was just like, being very, sly about it. And I was like, I don't fucking care.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the way to do it. Because at the end of the day, for the audience, it doesn't matter if you name someone's name if it's not relevant to the person listening to the story.
Yeah, it didn't take away from their business or anything or their life.
Well, I'm
stupid.
I'm saying as an entertainer for the audience. Like, if I'm like, Bob in Texas doesn't fucking matter to the audience.
Yeah.
Where Bob relates to you is what fucking matters. It's one of my biggest pet peeves in storytelling. Like, sorry for the inside baseball on this. Is like when people are like, well, Chuck, like, no one gives a fuck who Chuck is.
Yeah, no one cares.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell me what Chuck's relationship is to you and to the story and get the fuck on with it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Fucking PTSD from editing too many podcasts over the years.
Yeah, from shitheads.
I know it's not intentional. I know it's not like, it's just people not knowing how to be good storytellers.
Yeah.
It's about being fucking concise.
Yeah.
Telling the story so your audience comprehends what you're telling.
Fucking A right, man.
I don't know if this is good podcasting for anyone who like, really? That's just going to rant about fucking people's bad storytelling?
Well, it's like they say, like, it's communication is key. It's not. Comprehension is key. It's like you could sit here all day and talk to someone. If they're not comprehending what you're saying, then there's no fucking point.
Right.
It's like speaking fucking a different language to someone. It's like you're yelling at your dog and it's like the dog just sitting there looking at you like, I don't fucking know what you're saying. It's, you get that with people. They just
all
don't
the time.
All the time. Especially in this industry.
Some people aren't going to fucking get it, and it shouldn't bother you if they cannot comprehend.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck them.
So what the fuck have you been doing away from the stage?
In my real life? All right, well, last year when I had 5 years sober, which was February 28th, so it'll be 6 years sober February 28th this year, I decided to take a very active approach into my actual recovery and sobriety. Rather than just staying sober, I started doing more, not just step work stuff and like AA shit, but actual recovery on why I'm a certain way. A lot of introspective thinking, a lot of reading, like good material, a lot of listening. Yeah, this is legit. Like a lot of like listening to, podcasts and people and reading stuff that that I would normally not read, but I got very interested in why we are a certain way and what forces us to do certain things, what makes us a certain way. And I took all of last year to really fucking understand myself more than anything, because that's all I can control.
I mean, you wasted a lot of money. It's really easy. Immigration, generational trauma.
Pretty much, yeah. And my dad was an immigrant, so.
Yeah. Well, and even if your dad wasn't like, I'm 3 or 4 generations, but it's still like, in the old country, Midwest, fucking generational trauma.
That's pretty much.
It's like, why'd you spend all the money to figure that out?
Mushrooms helped a lot too.
Oh, you want some?
Yeah. No, I'm good.
You sure?
After, maybe. I'm Colorado sober, people. I do, and I'm very, very open about it. I do not hide it from anybody. So
I got a little chocolate.
Maybe after, not during.
Aw,
I've done that. I was microdosing on a podcast a few years ago in Austin. We had a lot of fun too.
Oh, you're like, no fun for you, man.
Almost 3 hours. It was tough, but it was fun. We just fucking train kept going. And all those guys blew up, those podcasters out there. Gary Faust, he blew up.
Well, Faust is a madman.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with Gary Faust's content, go look him up. He's a madman.
Yeah. We get along great. We did, it was a thing called Float Fest. And Sam was the headliner on this thing, and it was out in the woods type of thing. It was like a farm show. It was really interesting. But that was fun. I had a good time. But yeah, I was out here in June for 2 weeks in the hills. I took I call it an artist retreat, and I went up in the hills, and I rented this little place for 2 weeks, and I microdosed every day for 14 or 15 days straight, and completely reconnected with myself. It's going to get weird, but fuck it. I did a lot of praying, a lot of meditating, a lot of crying, a lot of trauma fucking release, a lot of really, really heavy, in-depth shit. One time, a friend of mine gave me some of his mushrooms, or like a taster, and I tried that, and I was on a fucking, a wave for about 4 or 5 hours, and it was intense as fuck. I got to the point where I was like sobbing, and I felt my dad like touching my shoulder saying, "It's okay, don't worry, it's okay." And I just was crying, and then I felt my mom there, and I was just like heavy energy, just like comforting me, but like trying to figure out like, what am I supposed to do? Like, my whole identity for years was this bar in Chicago, or the suburbs, called The Lodge. That shut down. Then I moved here, and I started the Dojo of Comedy at Sycamore Tavern. That shut down. It's like, the world shut down almost 4 years ago. And I was like, what is my purpose? And it's like, okay, I can have multiple purposes. Everybody can. We all can. And I was like, what should I be doing? What do I really want to do out of this life? What do I really want out of this life? And that's what I was pretty much aiming for and going after. And it's, it was like, you got to decide that. It's, there's no answer.
Oh, no, absolutely.
It's not like they show up and they're like, well, here you go. This is what you're supposed to do.
That's why so many motherfuckers in the Midwest.
It's like these, fairies show up. No, you figure that out. That's what that whole process is.
Well, that's why so many motherfuckers in the Midwest never leave their comfortable lives.
Oh, yeah.
Because their parents are those fairies that told them, like, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get a job you're comfortable with, that you can survive on.
Yep.
Meet the partner that you want.
Yep. Pay taxes.
Buy a house.
Taxes.
Move out to the burbs. Pump out 2.5 children.
Yep.
Repeat process next generation.
Buy this, pay taxes. Buy this, pay taxes. Like, I went through some really, really fucked up shit late last year, and after I kind of like
what'd you go through?
I was with somebody for a while in Phoenix. She's an amazing person. Just didn't work out.
I mean, she's from Phoenix. How amazing could she be?
Well, she's from Chicagoland.
Oh,
yeah.
So she's a snowbird.
Yeah.
Are you going after the geriatrics there, Trevor?
No, she's a few years younger than me. Amazing woman. She's awesome, but it just didn't work.
What happened?
We wanted different things in life.
She wanted to just be in the desert, or what the fuck?
We just weren't. We were on the same wavelength, and then we weren't.
Is she a comic or
no? God, no. I would never do that. I don't think she liked. Because I'm pursuing comedy, and have been pursuing comedy for years as a profession, not as a hobby to do here and there, and that a lot of people can't deal with that, especially women that are live a different life. I talk about fucked up shit on stage. You've seen it, I've gotten really good. I'll be honest, I got really good.
You're not just talking about your morning shits anymore?
Exactly. Like I did so well in Phoenix hosting a show. I got booked out here at the Hollywood Roosevelt. So
Nice.
yeah. So I'm moving up and I'm earning it and I'm working my way up, but it just didn't work,
Well, at the end of the day,
we ended things amicably, whatever that word is.
I'm glad you did, because it's completely unfair for anyone, no matter what the art form is, whatever for them to, hell, no matter what your profession is, it's unfair for someone to get involved with someone that is already doing the thing and then expecting you to change.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you signed up for. Yeah. You signed up for a fucking road comic. And
yeah, if
she wasn't down with that, she shouldn't have signed up in the first place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people are allowed to change their mind. I changed my mind. It's like, it was difficult because this is the first time in my entire life I've been completely emotionally available to anyone, not just a woman, but to everybody. When I sit down and have a conversation with my friends or family or anybody, even strangers, I'm very like, there's no like, oh yeah, it's like legit. Like, we'll get into the John Voight story after, but it's like, it's very like, this is what I think and feel, and there's no bullshit. This is, this is who I am.
Oh my God, that's how it should be?
Yeah. But it's not. That's the thing. I've traveled this country, relative, good amount for the past, like I said, probably since COVID, so almost 4 years. And it's not like that. Like, you don't get people that are completely, okay with themselves and being totally honest with themselves and other people. And that's just the way it is.
We're communal creatures, and people want to say and do the right thing to be accepted by whatever they view as their fucking group, as their tribe.
Yeah.
So they don't want to say something that's fucking out of whack that they may truly believe if it's going to ruffle feathers.
Yeah.
Unless you're just like, no, I'm confident in who the fuck I am.
Yeah.
And this is my opinion.
Yeah.
And more people also need to realize that, like, we can have a difference of opinion and still be friends.
Still be cool. Yeah. Like, I talk about that with politics, especially older people, I think. I think our generation, the Gen Xers and up, can do that. It's the millennial-esque Gen Zers that don't know how to have a conversation because they're not used to having a conversation like this. They're used to being on their phones and like, hate messaging and saying shit on, Call of Duty or whatever, but not actually sitting down in front of someone and being like, there's an uncomfortableness of disagreeing with someone, and it's like, I don't know where this is going to go. And it's like, well, it's just a disagreement. We just don't agree on something. And it's like, that's okay.
But sometimes those disagreements get led to being punched in the fucking face.
This is true, yeah. Which is, I've had that issue with men my whole life, because in my house, there wasn't disagreements with my dad. It was his way or you're going to get fucking rocked. So, and I had to deal with that. And I had to work on that and work through that for the past few years. And I came to, I had to come to Jesus moment with myself, which is why I was like very a certain way with a lot of dudes, because I was scared that it would get physical. I also had 4 older brothers, and they weren't like horrible to me at all, but we fought, here and there. We were rough with each other, but we didn't fuck each other up. It was my dad that did that,
that immigrant trauma.
You know what though? I look at it like I did something different. I was with someone that I actually had a true love for. My heart was open. I think she's an amazing person. I had my heart was open to her. Told her I loved her. Was great. It didn't work, and I moved on. And you know what? It brought me back here. And that's
to my open arms.
That's the thing. It brought me back to LA, man.
Oh, Trevor, let's hug it out. No.
But that's the best part. It was like, why didn't this work? It's like, because you're not supposed to be there. Well, God, universe, whatever you believe in, you're probably an atheist.
Oh, probably?
Yeah, you're an atheist.
Like, you've known me how long? You
fucking atheist.
Probably an atheist. Probably.
Fuck. I love you guys, but
oh no,
yeah, but it's.
I'm not only an atheist. I'm a bit of an anti-theist at times too.
But it's like in my world, the way I see things is that didn't work. Now nothing worked there. Nothing at all. Like nothing was working, but like a couple things.
Hopefully your genitals connecting worked.
Yeah, that was fun. But it brought me here.
Well,
and I'm happy, like really happy being back. And I know it's not, it could be forever, but the goal is to, like I said before, kind of split time. That's what I want to do.
Serious question though.
Yeah.
Did you think about giving up being on the road, giving up being a comic for this girl?
Yes. On the road, yes, not being a comic. I'll never do that.
Well, yeah, but being a local comic in Phoenix is giving up on comedy.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, it is. But I had an idea because I have ideas that I think would work. Being in Phoenix, I can still do Vegas and LA.
Yeah, that's like getting off the road.
I know. But that was my idea. It was like, well, at least I can do Vegas and LA and have someone to come home to that's, that I enjoy being around and being with. So, but it didn't work.
So what was the decision? Like, what brought on the decision? Like, what made you decide, like, yeah, this isn't worth the sacrifice. Like, this isn't worth me giving up my dreams and my ambitions for.
I was looking for a commitment.
Oh, she wouldn't commit.
She just had reservations. I understand that. I mean, I'm not the most stable person. My life has been very unstable.
You're a comedian. Like,
exactly.
Water's wet, dog.
Exactly. Yeah, we're unstable. But I mean, at least I know what I want, and it was like, I wanted something she didn't want, and we talked about it. It was really cool, actually. Like, it was like the first time in my life where I was able to sit down with somebody I was seeing and just agree that it's not going to work. And I was like, cool, let's be cool. Like,
now,
and move on.
On the hypothetical, if she'd been like, I'm totally down. I'm down to commit.
Yeah.
Where the fuck would that leave? Would have left you?
I'd probably still be there, but I think eventually I would end up hating it. So I dated this girl when I was like 30. I'll be 46 in March. I dated this girl when I was 30. Great chick. Amazing chick. I was running bars in Chicagoland and working at bars, bartending, managing, and making really good money. And I was enjoying my life. And we met and we dated for a year. But I always said she is the type, it's not a knock at her. It's just what she wanted out of life. She wanted somebody that was like in a stable world, and that's not a stable world because I'm not a stable guy when it comes to certain things. Like, my stability now is better than it's ever been. I'm more stable than fucking like a lot of people I know that are like, have it together.
I'm right here, man.
Yeah.
I'm right fucking here. Right here.
But it was like, when I was 30, it was like, she was great. Like, she was a great chick. And it's like, and I think that's like, looking back, she wanted more and I didn't. But I did. I was like, I love you. I want to be with you. But it just didn't work. It just stopped working. And it happens. Like looking back at things, like it just didn't happen. It didn't work. It's okay. I tried. I gave it a really good shot. It just didn't work. I didn't sabotage anything. I didn't self-sabotage. I didn't lie at all. I didn't steal. I didn't do anything stupid. I just was like, this isn't working. Cool.
Well, good on you.
It's weird. It was like, I wanted a commitment, but I also, that's something I've been searching for my whole life, is stability, because I came from an unstable house, an abusive house. We moved a lot as a kid when I was, growing up. Then I moved a shitload as an adult until this day.
I mean, you don't have an address. You were bragging about it earlier.
Don't have an address. Yeah. And so there's a lot of people out there that love it, and a lot of people are like, you're fucked up. Like, one of my best friend in Chicago, Roberto, he's just like, I don't know how you do it. And I go, I don't either. He's got a different life. He's a school teacher. He's got a daughter that's like 9. She's amazing. Like, he lives a stable suburban life. He's a single or co-parenting single dad. Great relationship with his ex, baby mama, whatever they're called. But he's just like, how do you do it? I go, I don't know. I just do it. It always works out. It always works out. And if it doesn't, I know how to sidestep. I know how to maneuver. I know how to fucking audible. And then boom, I got something else. Like, I audibled like that. Things didn't work. I was like, where am I going to go? I was like, I don't know. I went to Sedona for 2 days. It was fucking awesome. I went to Sedona for 2 days after that. It was the day after Christmas. I spent 2 nights in there, went hiking, went driving, had coffee all over, was journaling, was writing, was I spent 4 hours walking back and forth like an old Chinaman, like drinking coffee and contemplating my life. Just out in this beautiful part of Sedona. And you know what I did? I slept in my fucking car because I wanted to, because I love it. I've grown this appreciation for, like, I've got a sleeping bag my aunt gave me when I was in New Mexico in October. She's like, it's going to get cold in the mountains, so you know. And I was like, it's Arizona, New Mexico. She's, no, it gets cold. I was like, all right. So she got me a sleeping bag, brand new, best fucking investment. And I was like, this thing came in handy like a motherfucker. And I loved it because I was like reconnecting. I was pure. I was like not worrying about all the bullshit in life. And I think there's people out there that are going to see this and are like, this guy's fucking weird. But you know what? I don't fucking care. It's the way I live my life and I enjoy it.
Well, who gives a fuck about other people's judgment on it? It's not their lives.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck about these people's mediocre fucking lives?
Yeah. A lot.
Judging your life. Like, I tell people all the time, like,
a lot.
If you wouldn't take their fucking advice, why the fuck would you take their judgment?
I've gotten better at not showing my cards to the world about what I want to do. So I don't. And they're like, why is he doing this? I'm like, I have something. It's not like I'm just doing this for fun. I'm not spending all my time, money, and effort driving in circles around the country.
I mean, but
it's something I'm doing.
Even if
there's
you
a
were,
goal, there's
even if you fucking were, it's your life, man.
It's my life. Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck them for being like, oh, you shouldn't like.
It's, you know what that is? Projection of jealousy.
Oh, 100%.
Because I can just fucking break free. I got 2 more car payments and my fucking thing's paid off. 2 more and I'm done.
And you parked on the street in LA? That's fucking brave.
I mean, that thing's been through some fucking shit, so.
It's fucking brave.
Yeah. But yeah, it's, you know, I just said, fuck it. You know, I was like, you know, I don't make dick money. When I am somewhere, I decide to get work or find side gigs or do whatever. And I make money and to survive because I've been anchored to a business my whole life. When I was a young adult, I was a IT and telecom recruiter for like 5 or 6 years. I was a desk jockey, Monday through Friday. Sometimes that was back in the day too, when it was Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and that was it. You went home and you didn't work anymore. That was it. I miss that.
Oh, dude,
you go home and you're done at work. There's no more work. You just go home and you're done. I was
definitely
the world has changed and it's fucking bullshit.
I have definitely
fuck those people that do that.
Well, not even that.
I meant like the owners or managers that oh, your salary, oh well, that means you're a 24/7 employee. Go fuck yourself.
There's always been shit employers.
Fucking hate that.
I was reminiscing on that recently too. It's just like, oh yeah, back in Chicago, I used to have fucking jobs.
Yeah.
Where I worked the job, I clocked out. It wasn't my turn to give a fuck.
Yeah. You go home, you do whatever. Home. You go to a bar, you go to a movie, you go home, you jerk off, you shower, you eat, whatever the fuck it is. You go out with your chick, like you just do stuff. Now it's like, oh well, your salary, I'm talking about like where we are as creators now. Yeah,
It's like, okay,
the job never stops.
The job never stops.
Yeah, because then we sleep, we're dreaming about shit. Fucking
it's like, oh, I got to make the social media post. Like, and I'm not bitching about my choices. I've accepted this, but I do long on occasion for.
People don't get it. Creatives, and you're like me. You're a balance. You're a creative and a business guy.
I have to be.
We're similar. I mean, think about all the comics that are just creatives and can't even fucking like get themselves out of. They can't get out of a bathroom if it's locked.
Well, and
some artists are just so fucking like, I don't know what to do. You're like, how do you? It's easy to get out of a paper bag. You just do this, and you're like, some of them, not all.
I envy those people though at times
that are just pure artists.
Yeah, because there's days where I 100% still feel like a fucking fraud.
Yeah.
Because I do have a business mindset. And also those people like, it's like dumb motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Dumb motherfuckers have it easy because they don't realize what's fucking wrong.
Yeah.
When you're fucking reasonably intelligent, you're like, oh shit, I got to do this and this and that. And the stress fucking gets you at times. And I'm not bitching about this. Yeah. This is the choice I've made. But it doesn't mean that I don't long for a time where it's like, oh yeah, I could just not give a fuck.
Yeah.
Fucking fuck off.
Yeah.
And it's like, even when I went on vacation last year, and it's like, while I was on vacation, I edited 2 fucking projects. I did 2 podcasts, which, you know, is fun, but it's work.
Yeah.
The whole time I'm like, oh, I got to promote this. I got to fucking, at the point of content creation and being creatives that we are, the work never stops.
Yep.
And I don't want to sound like I'm bitching. I'm fucking thankful for it. I'm thankful for my drinking buddies. I'm thankful for where the fuck the show has gotten to at this point. But man, the idea of just being able to fuck off for a week and not think about shit is fucking appealing at times.
To be able to get paid, 80, 90 to 150K to just, oh, it's Friday. I'm going to leave at whatever time or punch out or like I'm done for the day and then not be bothered for a whole weekend. I'm like, that never happened to me. That hasn't happened to me since I left corporate America in 2004.
Yeah.
That's when I got into the bar, nightlife, restaurant business. And since then, it's been, everything I've done has been a 24/7 job. That's just how it feels.
At least you're doing it for your fucking self now.
Yeah, exactly. That's the difference is, sorry, you just, keep it in. Call this a coughing podcast.
Cool. So Trevor's smoking weed the whole time for the audio audience. I'm lying. He's just
now. But yeah, it's like, I'm I'm finally doing what I want. And it's like, I'm not making dick, man. I'm making, enough to scrape by. And then I do this and I do this. And I somehow manage to have enough money, take a loan out, whatever, to get to the next step. But you know what? I don't have to answer to any motherfucker anymore. When I was at Robinson's, that was, I sent this tweet out. I go, it's salary, not slavery. Like, this is ridiculous. Don't text me at fucking 2 a.m. about something fucking stupid. I'm not there. I'm asleep. And I'm a sober dude now. I'm fucking 46 soon. I'm not up at 2 a.m. on a goddamn Sunday unless I'm getting up to piss. And that's it. And I was like, I would get phone calls, text messages, text chains, every fucking thing there is. And I'm like, and it's like the excuse from the higher ups is like, well, your salary. I'm like, it doesn't mean shit. Doesn't mean I'm fucking anchored to your place forever. But they thought that. And I was that close to saying, you know what? I want to go to hourly. Cut me down to hourly. When I'm not here, I don't want to get a text or an email. You can write it down on a piece of paper. When I show up and clock in, then you can give me the.
Oh, no. On the flip side, you should be like, I want to be hourly. And I will bill you an hour every time I receive a text.
Every time. You can write it on a piece of paper and leave it there or shove it up your fucking ass. I should have said that.
I've definitely had some clients that I've been disgruntled with, and it's just like, this isn't working. And as the point where it's not working, it's like, oh, you're getting invoiced for every bullshit call I get.
All the time. Yeah, and I was sick of it. It was like not worth it. And the pay was shit. So
yeah,
at the end of the day, the pay was shit, and I got lied to, and I was like, I'm out. This is fucking garbage.
That place had the potential to serve a purpose.
Yeah,
that place had the potential to be a new place to springboard a new show.
Yeah, I got to work with my friends. 2 of my best friends worked there. We hired some more friends. It was like I met some cool people. And yeah, I was running
one of the bartenders thought I was you at one point.
Oh, at Robinson's? Uh-huh. That's right. Yeah, and it's like my staff were awesome, man. I love my staff. You know, it's like they were all pretty fucking cool. But it was just, it's like, I was like, I just don't want to do this. I look at pictures, I was fucking miserable. I looked at my face, I go, that's misery. Eating like shit, wasn't doing anything. I was worn out, I was tired, overworked, underpaid, stressed out for no reason all the time. I'm like, fuck this.
And it's the death of creativity. Like,
yeah,
if you are fucking stressed out and miserable all the time, nothing funny comes from that,
dude. Yeah, nothing. And it's like I go up on Mondays. My comedy was kind of lacking. I wasn't going up a lot during the week after that Monday show because I was so fucking tired and stressed out. I told someone to go for 6 fucking months. I could not go somewhere at night, anywhere, whether it was a show, a movie, anywhere, and not have to constantly think I'm going to get a call, a text, an email, or from somebody at work about something 99% of the time stupid that does not need my attention. Legit 99. 1-2 times I got called in on my day off to deal with something and it was like heavy shit. Every other time it was dumb shit. And I was like, I could not go to a movie and just enjoy a 2-hour movie. I was like, oh, well, I don't know. You know, I look at my phone and it's like I got a million texts. I have to go through it and find out what the problem is. Because all I want to say was, what's the problem? I don't want to hear everyone's fucking opinion. What's the problem? Who can fix it? Because if you're texting me at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday because you don't know what to do, maybe you shouldn't do this job.
But guess what?
Yeah.
You're free of it now.
I am.
And
fuck yeah, baby.
Think of how many sad motherfuckers are in that job or a similar job 10 years, 15 years.
I was.
Right. You got out.
But I'm not. Yeah.
You got off the fucking hamster wheel.
Out. Yeah.
You got off the fucking hamster wheel. So that's to be fucking celebrated.
25-year prison sentence. I got out. I don't want to go back, but I keep getting offers.
But Trevor, how many people never get off the fucking hamster wheel?
A lot of people, especially in the Midwest. But out here, I know a lot of friends that just get stuck in it because it's, you know, it's also stability. It's not that to a certain degree, they give up a part of their life to do that. And they're like, well, I have more important things now because they buy a new car, their rent goes up, or they, want to, all this shit. Me, I mean, people have, said, you can say what you want about me, but I'm making my life work for me. I have sacrificed and given up so fucking much to do what I do. I don't have a stable home. I have all my life fits into a 2-door fucking car. I don't have a fucking address. I usually don't have a bed. I was writing a thing called Couch Surfing Across America. That was what I started writing a couple years ago. I was like, that's what it's going to be called.
You're basically writing Crashing 2.0.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but I'm living it too, and like I'm experiencing.
Well, I'm pretty sure Pete Holmes was living it at one point.
Oh yeah, of course. But like I'm experiencing these things that I would never think I could experience. When I was in Austin. Bobby, God bless that motherfucker, he hooked me up with a comic, Corey Mack, who is, Corey Mack, right? Oh, okay. He's fire. He's out of his mind. I love that.
For the audience, Robert Dean, regular guest on the show.
Yes.
He Trevor's doing the bad storytelling tropes that I was bitching about earlier.
That's me. Robert Dean, who actually you referred me to when I moved to Austin.
Yeah, I hooked you two up, and I honestly feel like you two are better friends than I'm better than either one of. I'm friends with either one of you.
Him so much. He's just Chicago.
Yeah,
it's just everything about him. His accent, his look, his build, like how he drinks, everything about him. Like, God damn it, this is great. But he hooked me up with a comic in Louisiana, in NOLA, New Orleans, Corey Mack, who's awesome. And he put me on his show in Mandeville, actually a couple times, and paid me well. And I drove there from Austin and did the show and had a great time. And it's a cool crowd. It's a bar show, but they pay you well. You could smoke in the bar, which is, I hate smoking, but it's fucking cool at the same time.
There's just something about it.
Yes. But the cool thing is I got to go experience Mandeville, fucking Louisiana, which is next to Covington, which is where Theo Vaughn's from. So I got to experience this. And if I was running a nightclub out here or a bar or restaurant, I would have never experienced that. If I didn't take the sacrifice and take the chances I've taken over the past few years, I would never got to experience that. I would never been able to eat that pizza at that pizza place. That was so good. I can't remember the name of it. I wish I'd give a shout out because that pizza place was money. Whatever pizza place is in Mandeville, the owner goes to Interference Sports Bar. Interference Sports Bar is fucking money. That's where they do comedy once a month. That place is dope. But that little story right there, I would have never been able to experience that. Never been able to do that. To me, the experiences of life, of traveling around this country and doing shit, it's fucking 10 times more cool than fucking P&L bullshit.
I'm definitely romanticizing it at this point because I was fucking miserable at the end there. I kind of wish I was still on the road full time.
Yeah.
Because the 4 years or so I was on the road full time, there were a lot of good memories. There were a lot of fun experiences. Yeah. But there was also a point where it's just like, oh, it got lonely.
Yeah,
and
it sure did.
Has it gotten lonely for you?
Yeah. It's been tough. There's been tough times. I mean, it's weird when you jerk off in a parking lot in the middle of nowhere.
Is it?
No, it's great. Because you're alone. It's nice. I get those moonroof, open that up.
You're trying to pop out of the moonroof?
Fucking beating off. Like, yeah.
Like, if I can land it on the roof of the car, I fucking popped a good one.
Get my phone up. Ooh. I don't give a shit. Got a nut. You know?
You're fighting cancer, man.
Damn right. Got to keep the pipes clean.
Right? You can't get prostate cancer.
It's fucking A right, man. Yeah,
and
it gets, last year was tough because I was out here. I left here in February and then I went to St. George, Utah for a month and I stayed with a friend. Fucking awesome dude. Not in the industry or anything, but I met him out here in LA. Awesome fucking dude, Tom. And I stayed in St. George for like a month and I had a great time out there. It was fun. Like I did some work on a farm. Like I stayed in an RV. We went camping. I slept in this beat up Jeep that we bought. Like did a lot of cool shit. Experienced really cool shit. He's still out there. He's having a great time. I'm like, this isn't for me. I got to go back to Chicago to do stuff. He's like, cool. Like that was it. I went to Austin. Then I went back. I came back to LA. Then I went to Chicago. In May of last year, I had emotional relapse. That's what I call these. I've never had a relapse with drugs or alcohol, but I have emotional relapses. I ran into an ex of mine who was the last girl I dated. Like, I think it's been 11 years, but it was 10 years at the time or something like that. And we reconnected and we talked for a long time, back and forth. And everything, fucking my central nervous system went completely fucking out of whack. Well, that's bad. Like that's
the problem with love.
Yeah.
Love is addictive as cocaine. It fires the same fucking
way worse.
Yeah.
Way better, way worse.
I was gonna comment. I was gonna say this like when you were talking about your relationship earlier. It's like, did you fall off the wagon, man? Because like
I did in that sense.
Yeah.
Not with drugs, but with love.
Love and caffeine are socially acceptable drugs. Love is a fucking drug too. Love makes you do irrational, fucking crazy things.
It's amazing. Shoot me that. Just fucking line it up.
Well,
give me that love, baby. Honkers of love.
But if
that's my problem. But that's what I have left. I have coffee. I don't really drink caffeine. I have coffee and love, and that's it.
You don't drink caffeine, but you drink coffee.
Coffee, yeah. Well, I don't usually drink this, but I was feeling a little frisky.
Fair enough. But it's wild because if like the effects of love came in a powder, it would be illegal as shit.
Oh, God, yeah. But it'd be so good.
Well, yeah, no, love's fucking good, but
makes me crazy.
It's crazy if you look at it like from a purely intellectual, like outside society level that like love is definitely necessary to continue to propagate the species and all that shit.
Yeah.
You just look at love by its fucking self, like what it causes you to do and like how it causes you to react.
Easy.
It's mental illness at times. It is fucking mental.
It's
like,
fucking terrible. I know, but I love it.
well, obviously.
Well, I do, but I don't. Yeah, I do. That's all I got left, man. Like, but I worked through that. We reconnected. We talked. I thought something was going to happen. I got in over my head. My central nervous system completely fucking went haywire. I was a disaster for months. Well, about a month or two. There was this. It was also the first Mother's Day without my mom because my mom died a little over a year ago. So I was dealing with that. I was dealing with a lot of different emotions, a lot of stuff being in my hometown. You know, the bar I used to work at and run. I was like right by that. I was staying in a place I used to live. Like all these these old emotions were coming back all at the same time. And we had a great time. And it just, it tricked me, but it taught me how to deal with shit. So if this ever happens again, how to deal with it, how to work through it, what to say to myself, what to do to myself, how to breathe and all this stuff. So when it happened again, you know, months later, because I got through that, I got past that, I made peace with it. You know, I don't want to call it a dick move, but I got rid of my ex like completely like on socials, but I found out later she was very sick.
Well, it's not a dick move.
I didn't know she was sick.
Well, even if you knew
very sick, but it's like I didn't know that.
Okay,
so I didn't feel,
even if you knew she was sick, even if you knew she was sick,
yeah.
Did you make a fucking commitment to be by her bedside, like, or any shit like that?
No,
right.
Actually, I said I would if she needed help. I was like willing to be there.
Right, but at the end of the day,
but I wasn't. I would have done it if she would have been like, "I need you." I would have been like, "Yes."
Right, but at the end of the day, you're not a dick for wanting to protect yourself.
Yes, thank you. Protect myself.
That's where I'm getting at.
Yeah,
you're not the bad guy because you have to protect yourself.
Exactly. Thank you for saying that. And I know that. That's the thing. A couple of years ago, I would have been like, now I'm like, no, I would
have said the same shit to you.
Yeah. Today, I'm fucking confident as fucking the decisions I've made with anybody and everything and not just dating, with life. I'm like, I have to do what I have to do to get to the next level, to be the best person I can be, to help other people, to do whatever. And that's that. If you don't like it, that's not my problem. That's your problem. And that's it. It's very you know, and people, you know, I've learned a lot about projection because what I do is when I get upset or get cunty about something, I'm like, why am I being like this? Why am I getting upset? What's really going on? Then I start to dig and start thinking. I was like, oh, that's why I'm being cunty, because this bothers me because of this.
Because she has Snickers bar. I know.
Yes. Snickers bar. But yeah, that's true though. But that's the thing, you know, like hangry is a real thing, you know? And there's all these terms that I'm friends with a life coach, therapist, psychologist. I did her podcast in Austin, and she's fucking phenomenal. And that woman coached me and taught me so many different things on how to handle life stuff when you get fucking rattled bad, how to deal with it. And I was like literally texting her when I was in Phoenix, and she was like coaching me through some really rough shit I was going through emotionally that I couldn't, but I got through it. I didn't fuck up. I didn't relapse. I didn't do anything. I got through it. And I was like, fuck, I got through all that on my own. I wasn't, you know, with the help of others, like her and other. But I didn't do anything stupid. I didn't say anything stupid. I sat in the moment. That was the other thing. There's some uncomfortable fucking times where I just sat in the fucking moment right there. And I felt every goddamn fucking thing through my body. And I was like, and I kept saying to myself, stay with it, Trevor. Stay with it. Feel this moment, accept this moment, get through it. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And I got through it. And I got through all this fucking tough shit I was dealing with. A lot of shit. And I was like, now I really know how to handle this stuff. So if I ever meet a girl again and something is wacky, I know that there's something sketchy on her end, not my end.
Well, it's not even sketchy. Like
central nervous, it picks up. It's your, what's it called? What is it? They say like your gut feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. You pick up on stuff like the situation is not correct. That's your CNS, or you just don't, something's off.
Well, yeah. And the problem is, as dudes, sometimes we're blinded by our erections and we just go with it anyways.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's not too.
Yeah, exactly. There's been plenty of times where it's just like, this is dumb.
Yeah.
But orgasm?
Yeah. I mean, yes, but Yes, but that's like a fucking improv thing. Yes, but I had reverted back to like heavy drinking Trevor, where I like really felt like I was courting and being more responsible and respectable. I just failed on one thing, but that's because of the life I've lived, and I didn't have
what is considered stability. What is considered responsible and respectable? I don't know. What the fuck does that even mean?
I wasn't a cunt. I wasn't lying. I wasn't drunk. I wasn't like just trying to be. I wasn't being
on my own show.
Wasn't being like a fuck boy or whatever. Like,
oh yeah, no.
When you hit a certain age, it's like if someone's calling you a fuck boy, you're like, come on. But like, I wasn't.
Things I still struggle with sometimes.
But like, there's just stuff I was just doing really well, and I was like really proud of myself. But I wasn't doing it to show off for anyone. I was just doing out of like maturity and purity of like, I just want to just be a good dude. That's it. Because this is who I really am. And it's like, and I put that out there, and it's like, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to do what a lot of people do, which is shell up and be like, oh, all dudes are bad, all chicks are bad, fuck women, fuck dudes. Like these people that are like, and I'm like, I was like, no, you're not going to get anywhere. You got to find out why and then move on and be a good fucking person.
Well, and this is one of the things
you're going to attract the right people.
This is what I talk about all the time is like the lack of nuance on the statement of dudes are shit, women are shit. Like,
oh, I hate that.
Like, no. These are all individuals that have had varying life experiences.
Yeah.
You can't just fucking blindly sort people into a box.
I hate that shit, man. Like, I see this stuff on social media, and like I've been liking a lot of stuff lately because it helps me. And but it's like it's always like when I was talking about dating relationships, it's always like bashing men or women. And I'm like, no, they're the fucking same. Men cheat, women cheat. Men are great, women are great. Women are shit, men are shit. Like, it happens. Like, it's not just one gender.
Well, and it's also just not like
being cunty.
It's all individuals. Like,
yes, yeah.
What anecdotal experience flavored how you're going to react to something? Like, where in your childhood was fucked up? Like, you were talking about earlier, like, oh, hey, I don't want to be confrontational with dudes because I'm afraid that I'm going to get fucking hit over.
Yes, because of my dad.
Right.
I figured that out on my own. I didn't go to a therapist for that one.
Right, but like,
it makes sense.
How much shit from past relationships, from your family dynamics, from other past relationships, color how you react to fucking
a lot
of it. So it's not like all men. No, Trevor had these experiences. This is why Trevor reacts this way.
Exactly.
That's the problem with
careens.
Modern society. We lack nuance.
Yeah.
Altogether. We just like, it's so easy to like just make a generalized statement. It's like, no.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I cannot fucking stand it. It's just like, all men cheat. I'm like, no, they don't. All women cheat. No, they don't. Like, I was like, where, like this is your bullshit. You're projecting it. It's like, what's going on with you? It's an old saying. Once you point the finger, there's three pointing back at you every single time. So it's like, what's really going on?
To be fair, men are much more likely to cheat if there's an opportunity to.
Yeah.
Statistically.
I've been cheated on by almost every girl I've ever been with. I've only been with a handful of girls, except the last chick, which we weren't technically a couple, so that doesn't count. But nothing, right. There wasn't any of that. It just didn't work.
On the flip side, statistically, also, I am not an expert. You probably shouldn't listen to me. Just disclaimer.
Asterisk.
Right? Big asterisk on everything I say on every podcast.
Do the ding.
Unless it is about
subscribe. Ding.
Whiskey, travel, a few other things I actually am an expert in.
Yeah.
This ain't one of them.
Yeah.
Women statistically cheat because they feel the relationship's over. Yeah. Like they're just moving on. They're effectively moving on.
And it sucks. There should be that, like, let's just end it. But people can't do that. They don't have the strength or power to do that.
Well, strength, power, but also like
balls, whatever, same thing.
Also, women have to live in real fear of, like, especially depending on their background, their experiences, the threat of violence.
Yeah, it's true. You're right. Yeah.
Being confrontational with a dude and being like, oh, is this dude going to tune me up when I say it's over?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, and that's fucked. Because it's like, you may have never been even raised your fucking voice to a partner, but two dudes back tuned her up.
Yeah.
And she still has it in the back of her head.
That could happen.
That could happen.
Yeah. And I carry that trauma too.
Yeah.
I carry that shit with me. I've worked through a shitload of it. But it's still there. It's like, okay, this, like, my friend Kristen, the Kristen Transformations, we were talking about the silent treatment And she's like, were you did you get the silent treatment in your family? I go, oh yeah, my dad used to give me the silent treatment. My dad would kick the living shit out of me for nothing. I wasn't doing anything. I was like 8 and he'd fuck me up and then he'd ignore me for days because he had guilt, but he would ignore me. So I'm a child that has no idea what happened. I just know my dad kicked my ass. I don't know why. And then he'd ignore me. So now when people ignore me, when it's like I get confused and I kind of like regress, or I think it's regress, and I get my brain gets confused. When people give me mixed signals, women in relationships or anything really, but that because there's that love factor, I get very confused when you're telling me this and this and doing this and this, and it's like I now I can kind of navigate myself through that way better with the help of this person and some other people. But a couple years ago, I'd be like, what? Like, I'd literally be like, I don't know what I'm doing. I felt like a little kid. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, you said you wanted to be with me, but you have a boyfriend. I'm confused. This was this chick a few years ago out here. And I was like, wait, you have a boyfriend? She goes, yeah, you knew that. I go, no, I didn't. If I knew you had a boyfriend, I wouldn't be with you. I wouldn't be with you. And she's like, well, you knew, you know that. I go, no, I didn't. I wasn't drinking. This is when I was sober. And I'm at the bar and I just go, check, please. And I pay for my Sprite and I fucking walked out. And she's like, gave me shit. And I was like, you can't give me shit. I didn't cheat. I'm not lying. Like, I thought there was something here. There's like, nope. But like, that's confusing to me. Like, I didn't know what to do. So fight or flight, I took off. I was like, check, please. And I walked out and then she chased me down and we had this weird like conversation in the street, but like something out of a movie. But like, I realize with things in my life that, last year, like, the mixed signals, it confuses me and I don't know what to say or do. Now I'm like, I'm just going to say or do what I feel is going to work for me. And if that doesn't work for the situation, so be it.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah. Unless there's an actual conversation where two adults are completely vulnerable and open with each other and honest, where the discussion can be. And it's not just dating, it's life in general.
Oh, yeah.
With bars and restaurants and comedy and everything in the world and business. Just here's our, don't show your hand, but at the same time, what do you want? What do I want? Okay, let's see if we can figure this out.
Well, that's the weird part about relationships, that people put them on this pedestal. And like, as I get older.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Well, it's because of the brain chemistry and the fucking the stupid drug chemicals.
Yeah.
But as older as I get, it's like, I don't care if it's friendship or romantic, family. You should be treating all relationships the same way. Like, if you are not getting what you want out of a relationship, fucking walk away from it.
Yeah.
Like, when people are like, oh, you're in the friend zone, like, the friend zone doesn't exist. If you don't get what you need out of this relationship, if you want to be romantically involved with this person, and they don't want to be romantically involved with you, and you're not happy in the relationship, walk the fuck away.
Yeah, that's it. I watch Heat at least once a week. Bobby De Niro and Al Pacino. Do not be attached to anything that you cannot walk away from in 30 seconds flat if you feel the heat coming around the corner. I love that quote. It's one of my favorite quotes of all time. And that's what that whole movie's about, is being able to just drop it. The scene where there's a stakeout with Al Pacino and the guys in the van, and Val Kilmer. Yeah, the guy like sits back and he makes a noise, and Val Kilmer's trying to drill in, and De Niro's like, we walk. He's like, what? He goes, we walk, and it's like, that's it, walk. I mean, you don't do that with you shouldn't treat people like that, I think.
No, you shouldn't treat people like that, but also it goes back to protecting yourself.
Yes. You
spend time with a woman and it's just like, oh, hey, I have romantic feelings for you. You obviously don't have romantic feelings for me.
That's okay.
And as long as I'm actually honest with myself and okay, like, I'm cool with just being this person's friend.
Yeah.
That's fine. Right. But if I become resentful or some bullshit like that because she's not into me,
that's you.
That's my problem. I need to walk the fuck away.
Exactly. That's on that person. I just had this conversation with my buddy Eric last night. We hung out. It's one of my homeboys out here. He was talking about hitting on girls that he is around. And a lot of them say, I just want to be friends. And I told him, I gave him this piece of advice, and it wasn't like some sort of like macho guy thing, but it's to protect himself. I go, the next time a girl says that she just wants to be friends because she's not interested, say, okay, but my friend circle's different. My friends I hang out with, I talk, we go out for burritos, we go out to drink, we go out for drinks, we go out for lunch, we hang. And my friend circle's tight. So we can be cool and civil when we see each other, but saying you want to be friends, that's bullshit. And that's not a gender thing. I mean, for me, I'm only looking at women because that's who I date and who I fuck. I don't fuck dudes or trannies. But but when they say I want to be friends, I'm like, what is that?
Trannies isn't PC in 2024, Trevor.
Oh, well. I'm not dissing them. I love do your thing, let your freak flag fly.
No, at the end of the day, like, if do whatever you want in this world as long as you're not hurting other people. But I digress in your point.
Yeah. But I was telling him, I go, and he was like, that's a really good point. I go, yeah, and it should be, but it shouldn't, don't say that to like alienate a girl. Say that because you mean it. If your friends, your homies is like this group, your tribe or whatever, stick to it. If she wants to be a real friend, she'll like go hiking with you or go get a burrito or go get a drink or go see a band or something or a comedy show. Like that's what a friend will do. Because I was telling him, I don't know who's going to see this, but I don't fucking care. There is not one single woman in this entire town of Los Angeles that I consider an actual friend. Real friend. We're friends. We hang out. I'm going to go to your birthday, hopefully work it. I was with my buddy Eric. I was with Joe today that used to run Sycamore with me. He runs the old Ronnie's, which is Linden now, that Michael B. Johnson owns.
Oh, Michael B. Johnson owns
Michael
that?
B. Johnson's one of the owners or investors.
Okay.
Joe and I went out. Vinny and I went out. These are all men that I hung out with. Not one, and it's not a diss on women. I'm not sitting here women hating. I'm not like that. I've completely evolved out of that. But I sat there and I go, there's a lot of women in this town that I'm cool with, but not one of them has made any effort ever to like come to my show, to say hi, to kick it, to go out for coffee. And I'm not trying to get in their fucking pants. And maybe that's what it is. I'm not trying to get in their pants. I'm just trying to be cool. But the thing is, I guarantee if next year, if I have, 300,000 followers on Instagram, I'm blue check mark and I'm touring, I guarantee when I come into town, half those women are going to be my friend or like show up or something. Cause that's just how this town is.
Well, have the fucking memory and
cool.
And just, yeah.
Buy a ticket. No free shit. Buy a ticket, girl. But it was just an interesting observation I made. And there's a lot of women in this town that I'm cool with, like I said. But what I consider a friendship is not just texting, but like, I'm not here for a long time. Maybe I am. Maybe something happens tomorrow. Maybe something pops but it's the people that make the effort. It goes both ways.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Like, and I have a different experience than you. I definitely have women that are my friends.
Yeah. And you're also here.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So you've developed a really good foundation of friendships and cool people you hang out with and all this.
Like I have someone that are 100% my friends. And like, we talk about like the various people we're fucking and all that shit. And like, it's bullshit if someone's gonna be like, oh, I just want to be friends. Like, we have to be friends first for you to just want to be friends.
Yes, exactly. We have to be actual friends for you want to be friends.
Right.
Like
exactly.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing. Step. Like we have to be step one to get to step two. We can't be at step two. We have to go from 1 to 2.
Right.
It's.
And that's the thing. Like I also understand like once again based on trauma, where people may have hesitation on wanting to be romantically involved with people that they are friends with.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, most of us, almost everyone in this fucking town has a shit track record.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not fucking crushing it when it comes to dating. I'm terrible. I put a tweet out the other day. I said, under no circumstances, please do not ever ask me for relationship advice because I've only been in a handful of my entire life. I've never been married, no kids. I've had maybe 5, not even 5. The last girl I was with, we weren't even technically like a relationship, but it's like I've had like, since high school, I don't even know if that counts, 4 or 5 girlfriends. And one girl was fucking married. I was 25, she was 40. She's fucking hot, gorgeous body. Everything was but married. I can't consider that a girlfriend. She had a husband and she's still married to the dude. Long time ago, but.
She's like 60 now. It's okay.
And then there was a girl I was.
No, legitimately, she's 60 now.
Yeah, but she's probably a hot 60. But like, there was a girl back in the day I was like, in a I think they call them situationship.
Yeah, that's the modern parlance of our time.
Yeah, I hate this shit. I won't do that. Like, to me, it's like, casual dating that it has the intention to leading to something real. I'm at the age where I don't want anything like just casual unless there's a potential to lead somewhere. Or if
that's bullshit, man.
Or if we both agree that this is just going to be a thing. If we agree to that up front, but then things change. Now I'm kind of talking out of my ass.
See, that's bullshit. Like,
I can do that.
No.
We both got to have the conversation.
Well, obviously you got to have the conversation, but also it's bullshit if you're like, I don't do no. Why the fuck would you put up a wall and block yourself off from something that could be a good time?
Protect myself.
Are you that worried about it?
Yeah.
Or do you get that emotionally attached that quickly?
Yeah. I did. Twice.
You did.
Last year.
You did.
I don't want to ever again. I want to develop a relationship.
Yeah, but
an emotional attachment. I don't want to just kind of just boop. There's this old saying too, the harder you fall, the harder you fall. The harder you fall out of love, the harder you fall out of love.
No.
I don't know how much I agree with that.
I 100% agree with it. I mean, I have my own fucking issues, and I'm a horrible honeymooner. I am.
Yeah. So, I'm a love bomber.
I don't love bomb.
I get love bomb and I love bomb. I do that. It feels good.
It does. It does.
Snort that shit, man. Relapse on love.
I am a giant hypocrite on this shit, but it's also like.
Me too.
One of those things like, you shouldn't just put up, there should be no hard and fast rules when it comes to this shit.
Yes.
It all should be like fucking jazz. You should be fucking playing it by ear.
I just want to put this on camera. These bracelets.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. What's up, girls?
It should be like fucking jazz. It should be all improvised and it'd be playing it by fucking ear.
I agree with you. I retract what I said. I feel like I'm being fucking in a courtroom. I retract what I said.
Your Honor?
Because I've given so much in the past this is going back to like high school to a girl that had no interest in me because I was I was a Looney Tune.
Yeah, but
I was seeking the love of someone that didn't love me because of my mother and father when I was being a very young child. My mother didn't give me the proper love, and my dad sure didn't give me the proper love. So I'm chasing people that I don't think love me my whole life. And I finally came to the point of where I'm like, I'll give them what I can. And if they don't like it or don't want it, it's too much or too little, then that's all I can do. Or we can work on it. That's the other thing. You can work on it. But you're right, dude. But there shouldn't be a rule. It should be jazz. This isn't, like in music where it's like a 4-second beat.
It's not a 4/4.
You're right. I'm going to completely agree with you. It should just be whatever. Because every situation is totally different and totally the same. I agree with you, dude.
My two most
my statement about that.
Thank you. And that's the sign of emotional intelligence, being able to.
I retract my previous statement.
I mean, my two most successful relationships were completely unplanned. Like, one of them completely. Well, actually, both of them completely just started off as a sex thing.
Same.
It was literally like the first one was just like, oh, we're banging, and I'm such an asshole. Like I even said to her like the second or third time we hooked up, like, don't fall in love with me.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, that didn't fucking hold up.
Yeah.
The other one was like, I had already made plans. Like I had booked my ticket to move to the West Coast.
Yeah.
And her and I met and started hooking up on the pretense that I was leaving town in 2 months. And like on and off for years after I was gone. It's just like, her sending me nudes and just like, when I'd roll back through town, it's just like the timing was shit.
Yeah.
There are no hard and fast rules to this shit. You just gotta fucking play it by ear.
You're right. There aren't any rules, but like, here's a good one. When I was here in June for those 2 weeks, I met up with this chick that I had matched with on Bumble a couple of years ago, and we became. She won't see this. I think I blocked her. That's why. If she does, oh well. Fuck it. I blocked her so she can't get a hold of me unless.
I mean, at the end of the day, she fucked a comedian. She should understand it's gonna be talked about in public
or multiple. So she didn't say, but I don't give a shit. I was like, we're not together at all. You could fuck who you want.
Well, at the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't give a shit, man.
At the end of the day, sex isn't Everest. You're not playing a fucking flag. It's not unique.
Yeah.
Someone is there before you, hopefully.
Yeah.
And someone is probably going to be there after you.
Yeah.
Why the fuck does it matter?
I don't give a shit. Yeah.
Like,
like we were friends on Instagram, and then we hooked up one night, and it was all right. Like I wasn't at my best. Let's put it that way.
You pop quick?
No, I just wasn't at my best. I was in a bad place mentally. But I was trying to get out. I was trying to get through that process a lot faster rather than
just trying to fuck your demons out.
Yeah, absolutely. And it didn't work well. It backfired.
I mean, we've all tried it. We've all fucking tried
and then
it.
She's not a bad person. It's not what I wanted. And, and then it got really, to me, it got very, I call it weird, and not.
Did she want more?
Yeah, but I was going on the road. I literally left the next day for the road, and and she just got really weird. She was like following my family on social media. Like, she doesn't know my family. She was following a lot of my friends. I don't like that shit.
Well, that's a little out of pocket.
We hook up one time. You're following my brother who lives in Indiana that you don't know. Why?
Trevor, I gotta say,
that's fucking weird, man.
It's a little weird. But also, be happy you didn't leave the good pipe. You would have never been rid of her.
Yeah.
Like,
if I would have went down on her, different story.
I
could fuck pretty well, but I love eating pussy so much, man. I miss it.
I'm just saying.
God damn it.
If you put a mediocre performance,
I miss it.
If you put out a mediocre performance and that's the results you got, imagine you brought the A game.
Oh God.
If you brought the A game, holy shit.
Fuck, man. Yeah, I'd be like, she'd be knocking on the door right now.
Like, I know you're here, motherfucker.
You staying with me? No, I'm not. But yeah, it got just so like, what the fuck? Like, yo, like, back up. Just a lot of shit happened for a long time, and I was getting hit up, and I was like, I got to the point where I had to tell people to block her. It got really out of hand.
Well, at the end of the day, she apparently built up something about you two in her head.
One hang, and she was drunk and stoned.
Hey, she apparently had a good time.
No, not that drunk. Like,
apparently,
still hair in as fuck.
Right, she still consented. I'm hoping.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the next day she consented.
At the end of the day, that is what makes it the hardest for people to understand, like comprehend with, is like when they've built shit up in their head, and then when expectations don't meet reality, that's the hardest to fucking deal with.
That's where the fire showed up.
Right, and like for all you know, she had built up in her fucking head that this is going to be my boyfriend. I am about this dude. And like, you putting it in her was the culmination of the beginning of your relationship. Yeah. And then you're like,
kind of like what I did.
I'm shipping out tomorrow.
In a different way. Well, not really, but yeah, you're right. It's very possible that's what happened. Like, we had a really great conversation that night and into the morning. Like, I was very honest with her, and we talked a lot about a lot of stuff. And I was very, very fucking straight with her. And I was like, totally open, and there's no bullshit. And she got turned on by it. She loved it. And I was like, this is who I am. But then I hit her up. I hit her up a couple weeks ago, and
you unblocked her to hit her up?
No, she was still on one of my social media accounts that I didn't know. I thought I blocked her from everything. And I actually texted her to see if it would go through, because I thought she blocked me. And then she sent me like a shit text back. And I was like, and I just said, fair, you're right. Like,
what did you say? What was your opening line like?
Oh, I said, I'm going to use this too with other people, other girls. I said, you still owe me a ride in your Jeep. Because she kept saying how she wanted to take me around in her Jeep. She's got this nice Jeep. And I was like, cool. Like, let's do it when I get back. So I sent that, and then she sent like, who the fuck is this? What are you, some zombie? And then started like hate texting me. She's like, oh, another zombie. Or she kept calling me a zombie from Bumble. When you use some Bumble bum. And I was like, it's Trevor. You know who this is? And she's like, oh, now you show up. And I was just like, I mean, I think I literally was like, fair, you're right.
No, I love you, man.
The power. I'm like, you're right.
I love you, man.
It's a total douchebag thing. But at the same time, I was like,
you were horny.
No, I wanted to go for a ride. I really liked your Jeep.
Bullshit. You were horny.
I didn't want to have sex with her. I just want.
What do you want to do? Cuddle?
No, I want to go for a ride in your Jeep.
You're full of shit.
I just want to ride in your Jeep. What's wrong with that?
You're full of shit.
I have a friend out here that I've never done anything with, a chick. Well, she's not really a friend because she's a chick. She's got a new Jeep, and I'm like, you owe me a ride in your Jeep sometime.
Yeah. That's a different situation. You haven't been inside that girl.
I wish. No, I'm kidding.
But you haven't been inside that girl and then blocked her. It'd be one thing if you you left it amicably. You blocked her.
I had to. She's saying some weird shit.
Right. You don't think it's weird shit? You don't think it's weird shit for you to come back around and be like, I want to ride in your Jeep?
Yeah, I don't.
You don't think that's weird shit? Trevor. At least be honest. Be like, I wanted to fuck again. I was horny. I was lonely. I wanted to fuck again. I thought this would be easy. At least admit that. At least admit that. Riding my Jeep. You're full of shit.
Ride that Jeep, bitch.
I thought we were being honest here, Trevor.
Ride that Jeep, bitch.
You're like, I would like roadhead in that Jeep, please.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You're full of shit.
Like a mean dick.
You're full of shit if you're like, oh, this is completely platonic.
I mean, it's so much fun watching you lose it because I'm fucking with you so much. This is great. You're lying. You're telling the truth. I'm like, I know. It's the fun part. I'm fucking with you. Of course I was trying to fuck, dude.
Yeah.
That's what all it was going to be. Like, let it be that.
Well, then why didn't you open the, hey, I would like to be inside you again?
That wouldn't work either.
Well, none of it was going to work.
Nothing was going to work.
Nothing was going to work short of.
Shot my shot.
Poorly.
Yeah. Oh, well, fuck it.
You shot your shot like it was dribbling out of the end of your cock.
Give a shit. I was like, I shot my shot and I moved on. Like,
well, yeah.
Not even to anything. I just moved on. I was just like, all right. And maybe I just need to not do this. Because one of my boys was like, you just need to not try and date any woman at all or anything.
No,
and fuck. Other friends like, just go fuck. And I'm like,
I mean, both of those are just wrong.
I don't like that, man.
Both of those are wrong.
I mean, if a girl was like, oh, you're hot, let's fuck.
I mean, both of those are wrong. I'm like, it's one of those things, as I said, it's jazz. Play it by fucking ear.
Yeah.
But to fucking try to DM slide on that shit, weak sauce, sir. Weak sauce. Weak fucking sauce.
I love how fucking bent you're getting. I'm fucking with you, dude. I was totally trying to fuck, man.
Oh, yeah, I know. I
don't fucking care. I do, but I don't.
I mean, part of this is part of me calling you out is for the internet. You remember we're recording this, right?
Yeah. I don't give a shit. Like, I'm trying to live my life.
Live your fucking life. You're talking about like, oh, I'm owning my shit now. Like, I'm going to do a bit and say, I just want to ride. Just fuck you. Fuck you.
Jeep girl.
No, you wanted to get your dick wet.
Hey.
And it was a bad play. It was a bad play.
Now I know. Well, now
you knew beforehand.
I knew. I was with my homeboy and I was like, you got to see this. He's laughing his ass off. He's like, why did you say that? I go, it just makes it easier to never talk to her again. I don't care, man. I didn't hurt her. If she's going to play some weird victim card, she can fuck right off.
Trevor. What would you...
My fucking family. That's weird.
What would you have done if she said yes?
Go for a ride in her Jeep? That'd be cool.
Yeah. What happens...
Get tacos.
What happens in the fucking bizarro world where she does fuck you again?
It'd be a lot better.
Well, yeah, the sex would be a lot better. Yeah. But think of how bad...
trouble. It wouldn't be a good thing.
Right. It wouldn't be a good thing.
The universe, God, the atheist world was looking out for me. They're like, you need to stop with this shit. Because it was a bad idea to begin with. And I was kind of on like a heater with... I think I was drinking coffee late and I was like, I got a great idea.
No, at the end of the day, you want to get your nut. Like,
yeah.
Every dude's been there. Every dude, like, it's like, every dude's like, well, we fucked before. We could do this again.
Here's the other thing. That was like my first couple days back in town. I'm in Santa Monica right now. I walk outside and I'm like, yep, fuck that. I just go down the street. I'm like, oh my God, it's everywhere. I'm right by Jameson's on Main. I'm like, it's everywhere. And it's not like I'm out there like trolling for puss. I'm just like, there's just beautiful women everywhere. And they're all like, they do shit, you know, they're going to the beach, they're doing yoga, they're running, they're doing stuff, they're having coffee. And I was like, I like that. I'm into that shit, you know. I don't know what they do for a living, you know, but I like what I can look. I'm a man.
Well, for sure. But I want to reel this back a little bit.
Go back. You want to grind me out some more?
Oh yeah, because I just want to know, like, what was the plan if she had said yes? Like,
probably would have went out for a ride in Jeep and see where it went.
Right, but I'm saying, you fucking close escrow. You fucking bust that nut.
Yeah, I'm not good at relationships or anything.
Well, obviously.
Yeah,
obviously.
It was a bunt at best. It's just down the bunt, didn't get the first.
You're a 46-year-old man. You should know better than like
46.
Just fucking how poorly that would have went. Because
it's funny.
I mean,
it's funny to me.
Oh, no.
And I still laugh when we're talking about it. It's good material.
Oh, no, it's definitely good material.
And she's probably like, what a fucking, all these names. I'm like, okay, I've been called worse. Like,
for sure.
Anything you say or do to me, 10 times worse things have happened to me.
But that one, because imagine that bitch Why am I calling her bitch? That woman,
That chick,
that broad, that dame was holding a candle for you this whole time. She's like, oh my God, he came back. And like you
got weird before that. So I had to get weird back. I had to fight back with weirdness.
No, you should have just not picked up the fucking phone.
Yeah, I was having a fun time.
Like, just should have rubbed one out and got that post-nut clarity and been like, no, that was a horrible idea. Because that was a horrible idea. That was
it makes for a good story.
It's for a weird story. I'm not sure. Time will tell if it was a good one.
Yeah. I'll never see her. I mean, if I see her, then I'll get either ignored or yelled at. And I'm like, okay, great.
Trevor, I hate to break it to you. You're a public figure who performs in public.
Yeah. Worst things have happened to her, I'm sure. Don't be a weirdo. Don't follow my family on socials. Don't follow girls I know. Don't DM my other business accounts and send weird shit to them. It's kind of like,
oh no, I'm not
like, you want to be weird? I'm going to be weird right back.
I mean, what did they used to tell children?
What?
2 wrongs don't make a right.
I don't care. Well, I mean, I do, but I don't. No, I was like, you don't. She did.
You spent the first hour of this podcast like, I'm being healthy. I'm being a good dude.
I have moments of weakness. I can't walk around like I'm a fucking monk. You know, I'm not like completely perfect. I have my faults. I'm a human being.
You're like,
and I did say you're right and fair. I didn't say fuck you. I didn't talk shit. I was like, you're right, fair. And I was like, that was it. And I was like, okay, cool. We've officially closed that. She did something. She just
no.
I'm done justifying why I did it because it was half horny, half funny.
In all reality, I would accept it much more if you were just like, I wanted to knock it out of the park this time.
That would have been nice. Give her like the actual fucking give her the fucking you know,
give her the Naperville special.
Yeah, fucking
turn you into the Riverwalk girl.
Yeah, batting 3rd or 4th. Yeah, that's right. Fucking give her the
weird.
Actually, have really good sex.
I'll take your word for it.
Would have been great. Just with every woman, just really good sex. Even if it's a 1 night or a 2 night or whatever. That's just.
It doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
I've had many partners where I was just like, I effectively masturbated inside them.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, I'm literally just trying to get mine right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
I mean, I'm not proud of it. I'm just saying it's happened.
Yeah.
Mostly those were drunk Matt decisions. It's like, oh, you want to fuck? I'm drunk. I would like to get off now. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a while for me for that. 6 years.
Since you got off?
No, like drunken
stuff.
6 years, like right around this time too. I was with this chick. We were hooking up.
What was your last drunk hookup?
Right around this time.
Well, tell the story, fool.
She's dead now, so it's not like she can get mad at me.
I mean, you shouldn't have fucked her to death.
You can't come at me, motherfucker. You're dead now.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
So what the fuck happened?
I was at a bar. And she was sitting next to me. And it was pretty chill. It wasn't a lot of people there. And she was like kind of looking at me, wasn't flirting, but kind of. And then I literally said to her, I go, what's your name? And she told me, and I go, are you a Pisces? And she's like, oh my God, I am. How'd you know? I was just like, I don't know. I could tell. You know, they just stand out. And she was really into it right after that. And we hit it off. We started talking. We went back to her apartment. She got this really nice apartment right in Hollywood somewhere. And we went in there and I was like, you got anything to drink? I was like, yeah. She's like, there. And I ended up, I hurt her. We hurt her very well. Very good hurt. Like fucking went to town on that. She was like the angry moan, God, this hurts more. But I was like, it wasn't just banging. I was everywhere. It was just like, it was like some fucking like, it was rough, but it was good. And then we were done. It was a while though, because I think I was doing coke. I can't remember, probably. And so I didn't have coke dick, but it was kind of, and it wasn't all the way like, so I ended up get finished and like I pass out and like she's like next to me and she keeps like trying to wake me up and I'm exhausted. I'm like, I'm fucking beat. And she's like, she grabbed me like 100 times to go again. And I was toast. I was like, I'm fucking toast. She grabbing me. She's like, I want more. And I was like, I'm toast. I can't, it's not going to work. Like, and then like I roll over and
the mind is willing, the body is not.
Yeah. I roll on her and kind of, we start hooking up and like fooling around. I'd go down on her and stuff. And it was fun, but it was like, because I was like, this thing's fucking just fucked my dick. It's raw, it hurts. And I fucked her up again in a good way. And then that was it. I fucking jumped in an Uber, went home. And then we hooked up a couple more times. She just hit me up all the time after that. Then she started asking the bartender where I was. Where's Trevor? Is Trevor coming up? I don't know. Why don't you text me? I have his number. I don't want to come off weird. So this was going on. We were just hooking up for a while. And we didn't have like a conversation about it. But like I would show up at her place at like 4 a.m, 2 a.m, whatever. But that's what it was. And it was never like, then one time, then I got sober. This was right before I got sober. So it was like this time right now. Then I got sober. Then I didn't talk to her for a while. She texted me. She's like, I saw what happened. Oh my God, are you okay? And then she like hit me up months later and was like, do you want to come over and watch a DVD and like have something to eat and hang out? And I was interested. I was like, yeah. I go, but I'm at the club. I was at, Sycamore in the dojo. I'm like, I'm at the club late. Like I was working until 12 almost every day. And she's like, or every night. She's like, oh, I'm tired. I usually, so it just kind of, it ended organically because it was like, and I didn't know how to do anything for the first couple of years sober when it came to women. Like, I didn't know how to talk to them. I didn't know how to like date them sober, especially if they were drinking or smoking weed or whatever. It's like, I didn't know how to navigate through life. And it just ended, it was whatever. And,
I mean, that happens. People grow apart.
And then she died, so.
Well, why'd you murder her?
Murdered that puss, bro.
It's a good thing you didn't get attached, because can you imagine the fucking trauma of like losing a loved one like that?
Yeah, would have sucked. She's a good person. It's just like,
well, yeah, just because someone's a good person, just because you have fun together, doesn't mean that like, hey, you have to be together forever.
Yeah. That's what I learned, is like these relationships, friendships, experiences in my life, they don't have to be forever. They're that moment in time.
Exactly.
And they're a nice little capsule up here.
100%. And it's one of the disservices like our parents' generation did to us is like, tell us these fucking fairy tales of happily ever after. It's like
a crock of shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand in the 1800s pairing off for fucking ever and pumping out a ton of fucking children.
Way different. Yeah, because they're all working on the farm or the factory or the business.
Right.
Like that's what my dad did. He had 7 kids. He had 6 boys. He didn't have kids. He had employees.
Exactly.
They all worked for the business, the family business.
Right. And, and that's the thing. Like, especially in the olden times, half of y'all weren't going to make it. So,
yeah, exactly.
So you had to pump out so many. And like, women didn't have rights in society. So like, they had to be tied to a dude.
Yeah.
We don't live in that time anymore.
Yeah, it's a different world.
But we have the flip side, which is fucked, which is because of social media, you're never truly separated from someone. Like in our parents' generation, like they go out on a couple dates, it doesn't work out. You never see that motherfucker again.
Yeah.
Ever.
Done. Yeah.
In 2024, especially with what we do, with the public facing shit we do, if they want to find us, they're going to find us. They're going to see what we're fucking doing.
Yeah.
It's fucking, it's unnatural. It's unhealthy.
It is, yeah. Some people just can't let it go.
The brain chemicals, man.
Yeah.
It's not just us that gets fucking,
some
crazy.
Random guy asks you to take him for a ride in his Jeep. It's like, what the fuck? What's up, psycho?
Yeah. She is probably telling her friends at the bar in the group text about this crazy motherfucker she fucked once. Like, I'm sure she's omitting all the shit she did in the situation.
Yeah, she ain't saying shit about how weird she got. I'm gonna say this and we can move on if you want, or we can keep going. She sent dirty pictures to one of my business accounts that I don't even run.
Okay.
Don't do that. You can send it to my account. Why are you sending it to that account? That's fucking weird. Send it to my personal account. Don't send it to that. When I got one of my guys saying, yo, what the fuck is this? And he was laughing like it's a joke. But he you know what he said? He goes, I think this is intended for you. And I was like, oh yeah. And he was like, good work. And I was like, not really. I didn't do that great of a job, but
The brain chemicals hit people fucking weird, man.
Yeah. It's okay. I've accepted it. I've moved on.
Yeah. She tried to fucking get repeat business.
Yeah.
Weirdly after the fact.
I learned.
No, you didn't.
Moving on.
You're like, I'm going to change the topic now.
I meant moving on like next, not to anything. Like I have zero like romantic interest on this planet right now. It's great. I focus once again back on myself and my comedy.
But in all reality, like even if you met someone fucking tomorrow that was fucking amazing, do you have space for them in your life?
No. I have yes and no. No. I have too many things I want to continue to do that I got distracted with over the year. But I still am on the course of it. I'm still on the course, right. At least I didn't like just leave. Like I almost did that.
Well, no, I know you talked about almost doing it, but it's just one of those things. We have to be honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
There isn't space for shit like that. Like
it's not right now. There could be down the road. I could create space, but it's got to be.
And the question is,
I don't want to deal with it right now.
For sure.
Last year was rough for me. It was a tough year emotionally for me. I don't want to,
think about it this way. If you were on your deathbed tomorrow, what would you regret more? Not being in fucking love or not having a successful comedy career?
Oh, I mean, I'd regret more not having a successful comedy career. I've been in love.
Like that shit sucked.
Yeah. It's great to snort, but it wasn't wicked hangover.
Right?
Great to drink and shoot, but yeah, I mean, at this, I've been like, that's why I moved here 9 years ago, and that's what I said. I go, I can't do the, I just can't do the dating thing unless it somehow works because it's jazz. Because it could work.
Yeah,
it could work, and not just like, I would never be another comic, but it could be so. I would love to like date another creative. Like it doesn't have to be like me, but like she could be totally creative or in the creative industry. Because she could be like on the business end, like a manager or produce something.
That's not a creative.
But you know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to date a comic.
Well,
I won't date a comic.
You can only have so much mental illness under one roof.
Exactly. And that's the thing in stand-up. We all know that. And if people bring up like, oh, what about Christina P. and Tom Segura? Go, yeah, 1 out of like a trillion worked.
1 out of a trillion. And also, they are both successful enough that they're not dealing with the day-to-day stresses.
Right.
When you have enough income, a lot of stresses are removed from your fucking plate.
Yep. Yeah. I get it, man. I'm right there. Like that's the only stress I have in my life is finances.
Right.
It's been like that for
there's diminishing returns on being rich. But until you hit that, like, I don't know what it is right now, but like it used to be 70,000 was like where you started seeing diminishing returns on wealth to happiness.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's probably around 100K right now annually.
Yeah.
If you're both still struggling comics, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, hey, we both got to get up. We're possibly competing for the same spots.
Yeah.
Possibly competing for the same writer's room, sitcoms.
Yeah.
All the other avenues that comics are successful at. On top of it, whatever else you're doing to try to fucking get by. And then you're trying to be in each other's company and like enjoy each other while doing all that. That's a lot of fucking pressure.
It is. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's what do you want the most? I mean, you can balance your life properly if you know how, but if you don't know how, and most of us don't, we're not good at balancing our life. I've gotten better at it, but
does anyone in LA?
No.
No one who's hustling in LA knows how to balance their lives.
No. A true us hustlers? Fuck no, we don't. Because it's like we're always going for we'll cancel a date in a heartbeat for a 7-minute spot for that doesn't pay us. That's just you're not going to be like, oh yeah, because then you're going to get weird shit like, oh, you don't want comedy that bad if you're going on a date instead of, and it's like, well, I don't know if I want to do a 7-minute spot in the back of a bowling alley in fucking Santa Clarita. I'm sorry, that's not that important to me. Or it is. Everyone's different. Because I don't agree with comics when they say stage time is stage time. I'm sick of that. I don't agree with it. I've done enough shows and mics around this country where I was like, I think I should have just passed on this. This was not the best. Well, it's good to just get there, but it's like, don't think that when you get to a certain level and comfort of who you are as a comic, it's no longer stage time as stage time. That's the come up that you have to have the mentality of. But then you get to the point where it's like, it's really not that important.
Once you actually have a decent set and like you're getting good audience reaction from real audiences, do mics really benefit you because you're performing for other comics?
Yeah. And most comics are cunts. We're cunts. Because it's like we're watching you thinking of what we would have done different, what we would have done better, barely paying attention, not supporting you. They never support you. And then it's like, if you do something really good, over half the time you get cunty. Like, I would have, you know, I've been in enough, like I said, rooms and places where they just get bent. I'll give you a story. When I was at South by last year, I did a guest spot on a South by show last year, Brian Moses, and did great. He gave me like 6-7 minutes. He offered me the spot. I didn't ask him or even anything. He's like, I can't do your show. Come do mine. He goes, I'm at Creek in the Cave. He's like, tonight. It was like a late show. I go, cool. He goes, come by. I'll give you a guest spot. I was like, cool. I show up, walk in. He's like, oh, Trey, what's up? And Brian Moses is such a fucking great guy. And the green room was like full. It was like Joe DeRose was there, Eddie Pepitone, Emily Hampshire from that TV show. She was there. It was cool because I got to make her laugh. I forgot, Schitt's Creek. And like all these people. And it was like really cool to see like comics, like, you know, because I've been on the road, so I don't get a lot of that. Anyways, go up 6 minutes. I do very well. I don't say I crushed. I don't say that a lot unless I do. I listened to it. I did great. I had roaring laughs coming from the audience. I had a group of guys as I left the stage. Big group of guys came up to me and started hugging me and saying, you're our favorite comic. You're fucking hilarious. They wanted to hang out with me and shit. There was 2 comics in back that a friend of mine overheard that were fucking pissy because I was doing so well. They don't like me, but it's because I did well. I went up there. I did really good for 6-7 minutes. I left just like a pro. And they got fucking cunty. And my friend overheard them. And he's like, yeah, they were saying some shit about you. And I was like, because I was doing good. If I would have bombed, different story. But they're like, how the fuck did he get the spot? This fucking talking all this shit. And I was like, oh, they're pissed because I did good. That's right.
Because there's a lot of insecurity in this business.
I did good. I did really good. And they got mad. And they didn't get up on that show. And they wanted to and they expected to. Because they're fucking entitled pricks. There's so many entitled pricks. I love the scene and I don't like the scene. That's why I'm so glad my guy in Texas went to Fort Worth. Because that town is like flooded with some entitled fucking pricks. And I was like, this is not all of them. It's pretty cool, but it's like, there's enough where I'm like, fuck you, dude. It's like, you didn't pay your dues. You know, you just showed up here and you're a trust fund kid. So that's my getting off the soapbox on that.
Whatever.
Yeah, I did good.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Hell, even if you're a trust fund kid, I don't knock you.
Yeah.
Like, you got to still be funny.
Exactly. Still got to be funny. Doesn't matter how much is in your bank account, how much you got, what you drive, still got to be funny. That's the problem though, is it's not like that as much. Social media has really damaged the game, especially the crowd work thing. I see both sides of it. The crowd work thing works in the comics' favor because we're not giving you material. So you're not seeing our actual material. So if we shoot it, or if you go to a show, they don't see it. So it's like it, but then it's also, to me, it's not lazy, but it's kind of lazy. You have I've watched this so many times. I watch a new comic who can't cover 5 minutes doing crowd work. Where are your jokes? You should be working on jokes, not crowd work, because then they want to take the clip of somebody like giggling or laughing and put that on their Instagram and think they're going to get booked because they told some old guy he looked like Christopher Walken's, evil twin or something. And that's like, oh, that's hilarious. I'm going to get booked now. That's not how it works. Sam Tripoli always said this, and I love the advice I've gotten from Sam over the years. He said, especially it's the edgy people. When edgy is, years ago, he goes, before you're edgy, you have to be funny. Then you can be edgy. And he would say, reel him in and then fucking hit him with the truth. He's like, get him with the dumb shit and he's like, then fuck him up. And it's true. It's like reeling him into the lion's mound, whatever, den, and then fuck him up.
Oh, shit. I've been fucking this up this whole time.
Yeah.
Just saying edgy shit the whole time. Fuck. Why didn't Sam give me that advice?
But he's so right. He's so fucking right, And that was something he's like, these comics think they could be edgy first and then funny. He's like, it doesn't work like that. You got to be funny, then edgy. And it's like, that's right. Because that's what it's about. You're supposed to make people laugh and eventually make people think. And that's it. It's 2 things. And keep them vulnerable. That was my thing. That's what I learned from Andy Kaufman when I read his book years ago. When you're completely vulnerable and you don't know how to feel, and you feel a certain way and you're exposed and open. He said that was his favorite. That's why he's the original prankster. He was like, that was his favorite, like, feeling, was that very natural feeling of, I don't know what's happening here. Like, completely open and vulnerable. And he's like, that's when I would get him. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. It changed my outlook on things. And that was a long time ago I read that book.
Comedy's a rough game.
Yeah, it is. And maybe I'll give it back into acting. Should I talk about my time with John Voight just recently?
Did you murder John Voight?
No, fuck no.
Sexy time?
I had a hang sesh with John Voight, the Oscar-winning actor, Emmy Award. Was it Emmys? Did he win an Academy Award? Emmy for Ray Donovan?
Most importantly, Angelina Jolie came from his balls.
Yes. Yeah. Amazing guy. Such a sweet man.
Dude, just on a completely tangent side note, before we get into this, it super bummed me out when I saw Tomb Raider and saw Angelina next to John Voight. I'm like, oh God, they do look similar. And like, that completely killed it for me. Completely killed it for me. I'm just like, God damn it.
Yeah.
So many erections. Just,
you're awesome guy. Very kind, caring, interested in everything I had to say. He told me I was a very good looking young man because he's 85. Just a great dude. And, we're supposed to get together again and talk shop and, do some other shit. And
you're leading shit. How did this come about?
We have mutual friends. It's just.
Are you his drug dealer?
Nope.
Why not?
I don't think he does drugs.
At 85, I would be doing all the drugs.
I told him about my recovery and what I've been dealing with and how I have like people I check in with, not sponsees, but people I check in with and vice versa. And he was really interested in that and told him about a lot of other stuff, told him my favorite performance of his and he thought I was fucking with him. Then he went and told stories about that.
What performance?
Oh, All Day, Every Day, Anaconda. His performance in that is fucking miraculous. Fucking miraculous. That and Bud Kilmer in Varsity Blues. That's number 2.
Bud Kilmer in Varsity Blues is actually
incredible.
Legit.
Yeah. Anaconda, incredible. We talked, he thought I was fucking with him and I broke down like scenes and everything. And he's looking at me like, really? I go, yeah. He goes, let me tell you about it. So he's like telling me stories about the movie and, what they were doing on set and everything.
Does he think you're a special needs kid? Are you a Make-A-Wish to him?
Maybe. Fucking A, though. I got to hang with him. Got his number and everything. So we're supposed to kick it again.
So when do you send him nudes?
Soon.
Come on. Tell me that would be an amazing bit if you text John Voight nudes.
That would be. Just like laying on a couch.
Well, like text him the nudes and be like, oops, wrong number.
Yeah. All dad bod.
All dad bod, like just sexy look in your eye. And then when he responds, be like, oops, wrong number.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, John.
Great dude.
Well, then you should show him your cock.
I don't want to scare him away like I have with other people.
Well, I'm not saying you get romantically involved with the man.
Maybe I'll ask him for a ride in his Jeep. See where that goes.
You're batting 0 on that attempt.
I'm going to try it again. Different person. She's a friend. Well, a friend. Different person.
Oh.
Yeah. She's cool though. We're not like friends, but we're cool. Just want to ride in a Jeep around LA. What's wrong with that?
Rent one.
I don't want to rent one. I don't want to pay money for that shit when someone can drive me.
Rent a driver.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But I still think we should send John Voight a nude or 2.
Yeah.
Just cause.
Just cause? So he blocks me?
He won't block you. He doesn't know how. He's 85.
Yeah. Fucking. Next time I see him, what are you doing? Starts beating me with this newspaper or something. Takes a pencil out and bites it.
Tell me that wouldn't be an amazing bit.
It would be. People are like, when I posted it, I had text messages like, what the fuck is going on out there? I'm like, it's my life. Things didn't work out in Phoenix, but they're doing okay in LA. I was like, more than a silver lining. I was like, took a nice sidestep. It worked out.
For me personally, with all this shit over all the years, there have definitely been moments where I've taken a step back and be like, I feel like I'm a goddamn Make-A-Wish kid here. How did I get here?
You're like, is this my life?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you go to the AVNs, dude.
Well, honestly.
It's fucking like, I don't want to say cream of the crop, but cream of the crop. It's the AVNs, You think 15 years ago when you're fucking pulling your pud in Chicago, You thought one day, did you really think one day you're going to be the AVNs getting an award for best, like the Jewish guy or whatever you got that award for?
Best
rabbi?
That was we won best comedy that year. Thank you.
Jesus Christ.
We won best comedy.
Yeah.
No, definitely not. In 2009, I would have never expected where my life ended up.
Yeah.
I had ambitions to do other shit with my life. Like in 2009, like my record label was dying.
Yeah.
Like, I had tried and failed at other fucking businesses. I had tried and failed. And like part of it in retrospect was like, I didn't dive in with both feet.
Yeah.
I played it safe. I did it the Midwestern way. I kept my fucking day job that was stable.
Yeah.
That was stable income. And I tried. And like when push came to shove between my ambitious goals, my own business, and having to maintain the thing that actually paid me, I went with the thing that actually paid me. Like,
that's what we do.
Right.
Yeah.
The fucking,
what we did.
The ambitious shit fell by the wayside.
Yeah.
And it failed for many reasons, but that was one of them. Like, if I had just fucking dove in and had to make it work, there was a much better chance that it would have worked.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee that it did. I made a lot of dumb mistakes in those days. In the 8 years of doing this, I've made a lot of dumb mistakes with this. There are definitely, I could have been marketing this better a long fucking time ago.
Yeah. I get that with the dojo. I failed miserably not getting email addresses to build up an email.
Yeah, mailing list.
A mailing list. I fucked that up, but I have reasons. Dude, you saw what I was doing there. I was stretched thin. Well, I couldn't do it all, man.
You live and you learn. Hindsight is 20/20 for a fucking reason.
Work. It's too hard. It was way too hard for me to do that. I have a million comics that want stage time and none of them want to do anything for it. There's a couple that did. Mike Gickelson, who's down in Sacramento, he helped out. Andrew Rose helped out a little bit, quite a bit. He did a lot of different stuff. Willie Simon, he did some stuff. I love Willie. But like none of these comics wanted to work the door for like stage time. Some of them did. Those three guys did. There's some other comics like Jimmy Betterton, who I worked with now. He helped out. There's people that did that. Albie was too busy doing other stuff, so I didn't have him there. But it's like I was like trying to tell him, like, I just need you to just work the door and get email addresses. That's it. Because how we did things is we were an independent comedy club. People are like, what's that mean? We're an indie club. We booked producers and promoters, and they booked the comics. So they had a mailing list. They had the Eventbrite, and then that was it. So I didn't actually have an email list. The producers did. So it just took a lot of work away. But then occasionally we'd have our dojo shows, the best of the dojo or whatever. And a lot of the time it was like people got comped. It was friends of friends or whatever. And it was like, there'd be 30 people up there and 10 paid. And it's like, and they didn't have, I didn't get an email address. And that's where a mistake I made. But at the same time, with Eventbrite and all the other stuff, you do get the email. So you can create a database, which is why certain promoters have become so successful. Jimmy Shin, who I love to death, I just did a show at Roosevelt and did very well. He's got an insane email database. So
shit's important.
Yeah, he did it, I think Jay Davis, he's got a killer one. These independent guys that have their own, that can book shows anywhere and do well. That's, but they've been doing this a lot longer than me.
But also, how many of them coached you?
None of them. No one. I mean, Sam coached me in stand-up and some producing and stuff like that. But I knew how to run a club, not a comedy club, which is a difference because that's what I wanted to do was comedy.
But at the end of the day, Sam doesn't have to put out promotion for Comedy Chaos. He just has to fucking tell people it's happening.
Yeah, and it sells out.
Right.
Best show in fucking town.
Right.
Hands down.
So Sam doesn't have to put together a mailing list, keep people engaged with what's going on. He just has to put out a fucking post. This amazing show's happening.
Yeah,
people come.
All murders and done. Yeah.
Right.
Sells out every time. Yeah. And I had a lot of people trying to tell me what they think I should do because they would word it that way. And none of them, no one, not one of those people, because they're all comics, had the background I did at running events, running bars, running restaurants, running businesses. None of them. They may have run shows or been able to do a really good 8 minutes, but they didn't know what I had to do and who I had to answer to and what I had to deal with. The powers that be was a whole different fucking story. And that's where it got stressful. But once things started moving in the right direction, I got left alone. It's very laissez-faire. It was great. They just said, this guy's doing it. Leave him alone.
Oh, no. I went to many, many JoJo shows.
Yeah. I mean, you did sound for the Jeff Garland thing, with Netflix. It's like,
yep.
That was a fucking big step. I was working directly with Netflix, not through Jeff or his assistant, directly through Netflix.
Yep. That was a good night.
I've
definitely talked to a couple people like, oh yeah, I did this. I was at this Jeff Garland thing. I'm like, yeah, I was running sound there.
Yeah. I mean,
it was very cool for Jeff to come up and like thank me for doing it too. Yeah. Like he didn't have to do that.
Such a great dude, and basically rented out the room, but didn't. Essentially, I didn't ask him for anything. He just said he took care of the bar tab. So it's everybody up there didn't have to technically pay anything. He just picked up the tab at the bar and then tipped very well. I don't know. Yeah, he tipped very well.
Well,
he's a good dude.
I worked for a free bar tab that night. God damn it.
I didn't pay you? I should have. I didn't have a budget. Yeah, because I didn't ask him for anything.
Well, it's fine. I mean, I definitely... I definitely drank more than what my rate would have been.
7 fucking old fashions or something. Shit.
That... 7.
12.
Fuck. But now that I know Jeff Garland paid for my tab, you owe me some money.
Yeah, well, you can ask Jeff.
No, Jeff paid my tab. You owe me money, motherfucker.
I got nothing.
You got to pick up my tab.
You gotta shake me down. I'm like, go ahead. Nothing's gonna come out.
You got kidneys.
Dust comes out of my pocket.
You got kidneys, motherfucker. You got 2.
Yeah,
I'll sell 1.
Okay. Can we split the profit?
No.
It's probably pretty good shape now.
Yeah. Like, I've been taking my vitamins. I'm renewing that shit.
Yeah.
That's why I stay in shit shape, so no one can steal my organs.
It's smart, and they can't lift you. It's always good to be heavy, because then you also, if you're big, they always put you in a shotgun. They never put you in the backseat. That was an old trick I did. I was like, I'm going to stay 250, because nobody wants to put the 250 guy in the backseat. You always sit shotgun when you're going out with people.
I don't really drive, so.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Thank you for calling me out on my weight. Thank you. Thank God.
I mean, come on, I can say that. I was fat most of my life, most of my adult life. Big. When I was younger, I was lean. I looked good. I was an athlete. And then when I started drinking heavily, that's when things went out of hand.
When you were younger, you looked like you were in a new metal band.
This is true. Oh, at the fucking...
Yeah.
The chin strap and the goatee and the spiky hair.
Yeah.
I have these fucking headshots. I have these headshots when I was like 26. It totally looked like that. Yeah. Like, I looked like, was it somebody?
Oh, fucking dude from Smash Mouth?
Oh, yeah. I used to get called Smash Mouth all the time. I mean, to the point where I was just like, yeah, I know. And then there's another, the early 2000s, those bands. Yeah. Exactly what you said.
No, I've seen the pictures. It's like, man, this looks like someone I could have booked.
Yeah.
When I was doing music.
Yeah. Good old days.
Fucking ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, we got totally derailed on.
Yeah, we don't know where we went. We went to a weird place, but that's okay.
Talking shit about our, both our physical appearances.
Yeah, I wish I had a show to promote, but I don't have. I have a show in Chicago in March.
Well, this won't be out by then.
Yeah. Oh, it won't?
I have so much in the can right now.
Fuck. Put this up first.
Yeah, I'll just bump a bunch of people.
Yeah. Look at number 6.
Look at the privileged Trevor's trying to.
Like, as I talk shit about privileged people, I'm like, yeah, what's up now?
Well, because that's the reality of this world. This world is all about who you know, not what you know.
Yeah, this is especially this town. Nepo was
the whole world.
The whole world. I know. I just talked about this too. Like, my family are all plumbers in Chicago. They all got treated way better and differently because they come from a respectful. My dad was very well respected, and they're all kind of, the Kevelohs, they're good. They do good work. We use them. Nepo. It's business.
100%. Like, I pissed off a bunch of my friends who have kids and shit.
Yeah.
Recently, because I'm like, honestly, you should be instilling in your children. It's who you know, not what you know. Now, like, I'm not saying you should ladder climb. I'm not saying you should do that gross shit. Depending on your network, is really how you get ahead in life.
Yeah.
How many gigs? How far have you gotten ahead? Have you gotten booked on because you or friendly with someone.
Yeah, exactly. Because I submitted my shit to someone. They're like, let's book them.
Never.
No, it's all who I know.
Right.
They also see the grind. They see how much I've gotten better.
Right.
And they respect that.
Right. Well, obviously your peers respect that. Your peers aren't going to book you on something that's going to make them look bad.
Exactly.
If you have the ability, if they put Trevor Keveloh, who knows all these people, versus Trevor Keveloh, who is just anonymous dude submitting tape, who gets the gig?
Yeah.
Trevor Keveloh, who knows everybody.
100%. That's how I book.
Right.
That's how I booked. And I mean, we would give, shots at people, but ultimately it was a very who you know thing.
And I'm not like I'm a fucking clout maker or any shit like that. Literally Wednesday night, a friend of mine's putting on a show. Billy Procida, Man Whore Podcast, friend of mine, coming in from New York.
Yeah.
I texted my friend and said, hey, can you put my funny friend on for 5 minutes on your show?
What show? The Third Wheel?
No.
Okay.
It's Riffs at Knucklehead.
Oh, okay.
Dean Del Rey's headlining.
Love Dean.
Dean's great. I haven't seen him in years.
The shit he's doing right now he's got that band.
Yeah.
Like an AC/DC tribute band.
He's been doing that for years.
Yeah, it's fucking, I guess the last show out here just absolutely fucking murdered.
But Dean Del Rey and Jason Ellis are headlining.
Okay. Nice.
But literally, sight unseen, didn't ask to see any of Billy's socials, any of like Billy's material.
Yeah.
Said, oh, he's your friend? Yeah, I'll put him on.
That's
that's how the world works.
That's how it was when I had the dojo. I was working with a rep from CAA, and she worked with comics, mostly comics. I think just comics, whatever. And she would probably a few times a month, at least once a week, she was sending me comics that were in town. She's like, "Can you get this person out? They need to work out." And it's CAA. I was like, "Yes." She was cool. The woman I was working with, she was really cool, and she'd come to shows and like never expect anything for free. Paid at the door and everything, brings people, like bought stuff, tipped well, everything. And she would do that. And I was like, yeah, I got you. And then I would tell the promoter, whoever it was, if I was there or not, I'm like, you need to make room for this comic, and there are times, and I've talked about this more and more recently, but there are a lot of times where one of the producers would give me shit. There's only one producer. He's like, oh, I don't know if I have enough room, because I got you on the show too. And I was like, well, they can take my spot. And I was giving my spot to somebody that was in town that, needed to work out 7. And I did that quite a bit. And if I had my old phone, I could show you dozens of messages of people I took care of.
Oh, I know.
Years.
No, hell. When we did Billy's live fucking podcast at the dojo.
Right. Like on Sunday.
Like on a random Sunday.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think you ever checked out Billy's material or his podcast before.
A little bit, but I didn't know him for shit.
Right. Like it was.
But I trust your opinion.
Right. Like I literally like, hey.
It was good.
Yeah, it was a fun night.
Yeah.
It was a fun fucking night. And it was literally like, hey, my friend's in from New York. He wants to do a live podcast. This will be fun. And you went, I trust your judgment.
Yeah. And I was like, Sundays are open. So it worked out.
Yeah. But if Billy had approached the dojo without like me fucking being there.
Like, who are you?
Yeah. Who are you?
Yeah.
Like, why would I do this?
Yeah. That's how it is, man.
It's a business of relationships. I was talking to someone earlier about this tonight while I've been drinking. I was talking to someone about this earlier tonight. It's completely a business of relationships. Like,
yep.
How far you get, especially in entertainment, is who you know.
Yeah.
The gatekeepers are willing to open fucking doors if you're a trusted commodity.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to fuck you. I'm not going to put up someone who's like, oh, this is complete garbage.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, I mean, I didn't know who the hell Al Bahami was. And Sam introduced us. Sam's like, this guy works his ass off. And I met Al and we became homeboys. It's like, and we've worked together since. That was 5 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that. So, I think same thing with Willie Simon and Andrew Rose. Those guys were, I think it was Sam that introduced them to me. And Willie booked a great lineup of comics on Tuesday, but he couldn't get a big crowd in because we were also competing with Comedy Chaos every other week.
Well, you're competing with Comedy Chaos.
Yeah.
You're in LA, you're just at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Competing against the store, the Improv.
It's right down the street.
Well,
it was a comic-friendly place. It was just tough to get people in there.
You compete with the Improv, the Factory, the store, which
are
are all nationally known.
Yeah.
Like
a few miles from each other.
They're a few miles from each other. And tourists come to just see the store because it's a landmark.
Yes.
They're not even particularly there for the comedy show.
Yeah.
they're there to be at the Comedy Store.
And Improv and Laugh Factory are chains. So,
yeah.
So you have like, and you've got the best of the best of the best there every night, you know.
I've said this a million times. Like, comedy is the weird only artistic medium where people will go in completely sight unseen. You won't just go to a random movie.
Yeah.
But people will randomly go to the comedy club because I want to laugh.
Yeah.
Without hearing any fucking material.
Yeah. I have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's weird. It's fucking weird. Like, because you're not going to go to a concert and be like, I just want to hear music.
You got to check them out. Or it's somebody like,
Right. Or at least a genre. Like, because it's like, I'm going to go to a jazz club. I'm going to back to jazz.
Yeah.
But like, I'm going to at least hear, like, I want to hear jazz tonight. I want to hear blues tonight.
Yeah. That was so much fun. People are going to be like, what's with this dude? Like,
you've been here 6 times before. They know.
I know. I'm just working it. Just having fun. People need to, hope they just understand the humor and the, you know, the
watching me lose my shit.
Complexity, the humor.
Just watching me fucking tell you off about like how you're fucked up.
It's hilarious. It's like, fuck it.
I mean, I'm saying as a friend, you fucked up.
Nah. I guess I won't ever hook up with her and take a ride in that Jeep. Oh, well. There are greater tragedies in life.
Maybe not to her.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Maybe she's going to go swallow a bottle of pills over this.
I hope not. I don't think I was that exciting.
Well, obviously, you could give her the fucking pee game.
Yeah, I did. I feel bad. Maybe that's what it was, like subconsciously. I wanted to I was like, no, trust me, I'm better. I'm in better headspace. I can do this.
I can knock it out of the park.
Yeah, I can really crush this.
I can home run derby this shit.
I'm batting 3 or 4 now. I'm not batting 9 or 10 in 16-inch softball. Like I'm batting 3 or 4. Fast pitch.
Well, maybe you'll get a chance to knock it out of the park with someone else.
Yeah, I will. Or not. Maybe I'll just chill. I don't think there's anything here I really want to pursue. So I just enjoy it. But then again, stranger things have happened in my life. I've had dinner with Anthony Bourdain. I've had ice cream with John Voight, and that was just a few days ago. I've had I had Joe Rogan at my comedy club. It's like I
brought a date to that.
You were there, yeah. I've done some pretty cool things in my life.
Fuck you for making me stand through that whole show on a date.
Yeah,
I don't really care. I was trying to show off, because you did count me on that show.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, I know the fucking, and then like we had standing room.
Yeah, like I used to work with the UFC and the MMA world, and the things I did with the fighters and promoters and the models, amazing fucking stories with them. This was going back to like 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, around there, that chunk of time. Amazing stories, cool stuff. I met Dana White years ago. Like I had dinner with Lorenzo Fertitta, like the fucking, I
want to pose you this question though. Wouldn't it be cooler if people were telling these stories on podcasts about having dinner with you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's well and good. It's exciting to be around these people.
Yeah.
But isn't the goal
to be that guy? To
be the person that fuck, I was hanging out with Trevor Keveloh last night.
It very well could happen.
But isn't that the goal?
Yeah. Yeah. I would love that for not just my ego, but a level of success.
Right. Because you've made your mark on the world.
Yeah.
When someone is being like, they're proud to say that they spent time with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get that. I get so much love in Chicagoland. It's insane. I get good love here, but it's hard here. And it's not a diss. It's just artists and creatives. So it's not like I have all these non-creatives that are like, oh, I mean, I did have 5 or 6 people show up to my show at Roosevelt, and none of them were comics, of course, because comics won't show up. But I had like 5 or 6 friends show up. They paid a ticket. They came in. They're like, you are fucking great. You were funny. You had me laughing the whole time because I hosted. So I was up there a lot because it was also a long ass show. But yes, you're right. It would be great to have that experience where someone's like, I want to have dinner with you and listen to what you've done and places you've been. That would be fucking cool as fuck, man. But I get that, like I said, mostly in Chicagoland. My family's I'm lucky. My family's always been pretty supportive. A lot of my friends are pretty supportive, especially, my life in sobriety and recovery. That's a big step. But they still, I went through a lot, the past few months, like some a lot more than I want to really dive into mentally and emotionally and psychologically. I went through some pretty tough shit to the point where my family's like, come back to Chicago. My brother like jokingly was like, come back, I'll get you a job at the plant. Like he was fucking with me, but he's like, I get you 25 hours to push a broom. And I'm like, I'd rather go in the janitor's closet and hang myself than fucking make 25 an hour working in the fucking factory.
100%. Like, and that's one of the...
Sorry that I'm not like you guys. I would like that, but in my own way.
No, you don't. No, you don't want...
No, I don't want that. I wouldn't mind a stable home, but I was like, at the same time, what I'm doing, it works for me and I love this. It's just scary. I don't know when I'm going to make my next money. No. I don't have anything on the books until March. I don't know how I'm going to stretch from right now until then. I have things in motion.
Sell that ass.
Right. I have things in motion. I have some projects and some gigs in motion that I'll be okay with, but it's scary. But it's to the point now, it's not scary to me. I'm just like, I'll find a way.
That is one of the things I fucking hate about Chicago. I hate about the Midwest. Every time like I've had
a hiccup,
anything.
COVID.
Right. Yeah. Oh, why don't you just come back and do what, motherfucker? Do what?
And I love, my family's truly supportive. Like, I love them. Most of them. Some of them are cunts. Well, not really. They're not cunts. We just don't talk. But like, there's some people in my family that I keep in touch with. And this is the thing. My mom, who died a little over a year ago, who was it's like anybody, not everybody, but most people, my biggest fan. She loved me. She supported me. She saw me go through hell from the very first time I came out here just to visit with my then mentor, Bob Odenkirk, who everyone knows now. Then I moved out here a year later to work with him. He mentored me for years. She said this up until the day not day she died, because she was in terrible shape in hospice. But she said to me, she goes, Trevor, I love when you're around, when you're in town in Chicago. I love when you're here and helping. You're such a help, because I actually helped my parents. I didn't just hang out. I make my dad food. I do this. I do that. I'd help her out. I'd do stuff. I was there to help.
Well, otherwise you'd beat the shit out of you. I get it.
Exactly. But she said, I love having you here, but I don't want you here. You don't belong here. You need to.
And that's real fucking support.
That is the best. Saying, come back here, you're 46, like, what do you, and I'm like, I put all this time and effort and money and all this into myself for this long. So just quit and go work at the factory.
Well, and for me,
stand up for fun on the side.
For me, whenever anyone back in Chicago is like, we'll just come back to Chicago and fucking do what?
Do what?
Do what?
Oh, well, it's so I can be with you. So you can be, because my family.
So you can bring me down, motherfucker. Yeah.
So that you can be at that level because they see you fucking still fucking going. You're going, you're still going. And they're like, they love it, but there's probably a bit of jealousy.
I definitely have former friends at this point from back in Chicago that we have grown apart because I am not living the life that they approve of.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
I've had family disassociate themselves from me completely because they're like, what's he think? He's like, what is he, like a wannabe? I'm like, no, I'm fucking doing it. But I'm literally doing it.
I mean, I think you can confirm this with me.
At a smaller level.
In the Midwest, in Chicago.
Yeah.
Success through entertainment is something you read about. It's not something.
I don't get it.
It's not something you actually do.
It's something you do for fun on the weekends.
It's a hobby.
Yes, it's a hobby.
It's a hobby.
You make a couple extra bucks.
It's not something that like anyone actually does and be successful. The people you see on television, celebrities, shit like that, those aren't real people to people in Chicago.
Yeah. No, they don't get it. And they're not supposed to. We get it. We are the people that get it and are supposed to get it because we're here putting ourselves through goddamn hell, dealing with the fucking nonsense of this town, doing everything we can to fucking survive. And they don't have that. And that's okay. And I'm more than okay with it. It's just less people here.
Fuck yeah. Bring my rent down.
But it's like, I went through, like I said, some tough shit in my own world, my own head. And I reached out to some of my family and some friends and told them I was struggling. It was pretty bad. I was struggling mentally. And I was like, I'm having a hard time. And the thing is, I've gotten to my point in my life where I can say that now and be honest and say I'm having a really hard time. But I got through it. And right now, I feel great. Like, I'm going to drive to Santa Monica and stay on my friend's couch. Like, I don't mind that. People are like, that's weird. I'm like, so? I got shit I got to do.
It's not your life, motherfucker.
It's my life.
Right.
I'm not like, why are you with so-and-so? You seem to be miserable. Why are you drunk every night and you're married?
Why are you at the same job for 10 years that you hate?
Why are you married to the same woman, but you're at the bar every night? Like, I worked in blue collar bars. I'm like, why are you here every night? You get fucking half in the bag so you could go home and deal with your life you fucking hate. And here I am, like, trying to figure out how I'm going to stretch and make things work. And it's like, fuck it, I am. Universe, God, atheist world. I'm going to fucking do it.
Atheist world?
Find a way. Atheist world up. I'm going to find a way to fucking do it.
Hell yeah.
And if I got to go wash dishes for a week or a month, I will. And I did that shit in Chicago. I didn't have anything going on. I went and I worked at a fucking store up the street for 2 months, making shit money. But I got 30 hours a week. It was right up the street, less than half a mile away. But I made it work. And if I have to do that again, I will. Because and I've been offered this a few times, I do not want to run another goddamn fucking bar or restaurant.
Then don't do it.
My life is over.
Then don't do it.
I would be more than happy to come in as a daytime consultant.
Don't do it. Just don't do it. No.
It takes my juices away. Because then but the thing is, everyone looks at me like, how are you going to make money? I'm like, I'm going to figure it out like I always do.
You figure it out.
Yeah.
Fucking figure it out.
Every time.
Fuck them. Just because they can't figure it out doesn't mean that you can't.
Yeah. I'm different. We're different. You're out here. I'm out here. We're doing something that not a lot of people can do, want to do, or have the balls to do.
And that is the beautiful thing.
And it's not even a diss.
Right.
I'm not made for that world. I tried it and I didn't like it.
As I used to tell my musical artists all the fucking time, drive will get you further than talent any day of the week.
100%. Yep.
You have to just show up. You just have to show up and put in the work.
Yeah. You have to hustle.
Like, every time someone questions, like, how did this talentless motherfucker make it this far? Drive.
Yeah.
Just drive.
Keep going.
Yep.
Getting up, doing whatever it is you need to do.
And developing relationships.
Here especially.
Yeah.
Networking, meeting, being in the right place at the right time, talking to the right people, impressing the right people.
Not coughing into my mics.
Yeah, I know. I mean, with the dojo, I was like, I tell people I wasn't walking down the street and they threw a comedy club at me. I was working at this place for a couple of years. Like, I put in the time to earn that opportunity. But it's also like a lot of things could have changed. Anything could have changed where it didn't happen, but it did. And that's, end of the day, it happened. So I'll never, ever have anything like that as long as I live. I'm so grateful for everything came out of that place. But I've made peace with it. It's part of my past.
Hell, if it wasn't for the dojo, we wouldn't be friends.
Yeah. Yep.
Steve Vance brought me in there the first time.
That's right. That fucking dude. I love him. But yeah, I mean,
talk about a fucking quitter, wife, kid back in fucking Boston.
He's hot though.
Well, good. Quitter.
Yeah.
Fucking quitter.
Fucking quitter.
He quit for a hot piece of ass.
But I thought he was running his dad's company.
No, he quit for being responsible.
Did he pass away, his dad?
I don't know.
But yeah, I get it. But at the same time, like, you didn't have to.
He's a quitter.
You didn't have to.
He's a quitter.
Yeah.
Fucking quitter. I love you, Steve. You're a quitter.
Yeah.
But on that note, I hate to do it. We got last call on this motherfucker. We've been doing this for 2 hours already.
Oh, man. We rocked.
Trevor.
Yes.
Tell me where you can find you on the things.
You can find me on social media. Trevor Keveloh. Trev as in Victor. OR. Last name is Keveloh. Kev like Victor. ELOH. Also, Corrupted Comedy. That's corrupted with a K. Comedy. We are Corrupted Comedy California, Corrupted Comedy Texas, Corrupted Comedy Shy, and eventually we'll be in Corrupted Comedy Iowa and Corrupted Comedy Minnesota. This is happening. My next show I have coming, I have shows I'm lining up out here in Los Angeles, but I have a big show in Chicagoland at Base Camp in Lisle, inside of Four Lakes, next to Naperville in Chicagoland. That is Friday, March 22nd. That's my birthday show. So if you're in Chicago or in Chicagoland or anywhere near it, come out. My actual birthday is 3/23, but we're having a killer show on 3/22. And then look out for some stuff we have popping up here in Los Angeles and where else? Oh, and in Texas, we have Corrupted Comedy Texas at Bar 2909. Check my links in my bio, which starts February 1st. It's a weekly show, and ticket links are in there, and that's in Fort Worth. And James Garibay runs that.
Hell yeah.
Did I do it?
I think you did the thing.
I feel like an ad salesman or something.
It's fine. It's part of the hustle.
Yeah. And if you have a Jeep, I'd love to ride in it.
And be inside you.
And be inside you.
Until next week, drink up, motherfuckers.